What's up, D fam? Welcome back to the greatest bi-city podcast in the world, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, and Louisville, Kentucky. It's the Weekly D podcast. I'm your host, Danny G. This is my co-host, the incredible Kyle Austin, and
What's
today
up?
we are joined by a very special guest, reigning in from Houston, Texas. He's a model, an actor, a social media influencer, as well as an incredible up-and-coming singer and songwriter. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the short king himself, Gammy Gonzz.
Oh, I thought I was talking about the other person. I was like, oh, damn, that was a good intro.
Stumbled a little bit, but I got through it.
What's
No
going
one has
on,
been so
Gammy?
nice.
Oh, man. How you doing? How you doing this lovely Monday afternoon or Monday night?
It's definitely nighttime, fool.
Yeah, for sure. So it's somewhere is an afternoon.
Well, yeah, so you were telling us a little bit before the show that you were like, man, I thought it was Tuesday. That's how my Monday's going.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to think it's another day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the
Isn't it?
day's almost over.
Yeah. Well,
Nighttime.
welcome to the show.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
It's super great to have you on. Like, we were kind of like listening to some of your music and kind of been watching it since we kind of first heard about you. And we love the vibe, man. It's
Thank you,
really,
thank you.
really cool. It's very, very chill. You have a really great melodic sound, by the way. Like I said, I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
But kind of like, I guess to kind of go in it, what was kind of one of those big like inspirations that kind of led you into music? Like what kind of led you down that path?
So I grew up in a very musical house. My dad, he's a performer. Um, so I grew up, I was the youngest of three. My sister is a singer, my brother's a singer. He plays every instrument. So I just grew up watching them. I guess either, whether it was like my dad performing at his concert or at a party, everybody was just on stage. So in my family, they have the thing that if you don't know how to sing or either play the accordion, you have these little kids just playing because we're Mexican. So when I say my dad's a performer, he performs Tejano music, like norteñas, cumbias.
Yeah.
So all the little kids, you see all the little kids playing the drums, accordion. I was not gifted for with the instruments. That was too much for me. So I chose a different route. So I guess growing up, it was normal for me to just see people on stage. So I felt like in my mind, I already knew that's what I was gonna do. But I guess since I just grew up with like Mexican, Hispanic music, it didn't really hit me that that's what I wanted to do until I heard like pop music.
Mhm.
So I grew up with like Chris Brown, Britney Spears, JT, and I feel like that was like the first time I was like around 3, 4 that I knew exactly that's what I was gonna do. So then I grew up and just I guess I got older, so my music style just kept changing and changing until I found it. So I'm
Mhm.
all over the place, but just music was just always a big part. So I
Awesome.
don't know what was that mark that made it like, okay, that's what you're gonna do, but it's just I guess in my blood.
You know, I think it comes like a lot of times with just like that natural progression of the musician, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're actually kind of starting, you like you said, when you first started it, you had this idea of kind of what you wanted, but as music changes and as time changes, you kind of go into it. It's like, okay, maybe let me try this, and then you kind of take a little bit of that each time as you go through it, and you make something special. And that's just something that kind of comes inherently in an artist, and I think it's
Yeah.
awesome to kind of see that. And that's
yeah.
actually really cool to know that your family's just full of musicians too. I think that's
Yeah.
super
And we're
neat.
yeah, for sure. We're very different. I'm like the black sheep. So everybody in the family, they're very, Mexican music, and me, I have like I'm the only one that does pop. So no one, I guess
Mhm.
no one understands it unless like the younger like cousins, they're like, oh, yeah, I like your
Yeah.
music, but you never hear anybody else like say, oh, I listen to your music because they do their own thing.
Uh-huh.
So I guess we're very different in that aspect. Like I wasn't able to, I guess, seek advice from like my dad or anybody else in the family because nobody was doing what I was doing. So I had to
Mhm.
go my own route and like find people that knew what they were doing, like in my genre. So that's
Right.
one thing I feel like that disconnects me from them is that I found my own routes. I had to teach myself and vice versa. My dad was always there to teach us like anything related to that music because it's completely different.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. With that being said, do you feel like your family supports you quite a bit in your music adventures, or do you think
They
it just
try. They try. Since it's just very different, I guess they're very old school.
okay?
So for them, it's a little bit like I don't know if I want to call that music. So we had our battles growing up because in
Mhm.
my family it's either you. It sounds horrible, but it's either you do Mexican music or you're not a musician. Because they're very
Mhm.
like old school in that they don't think like pop music is music. And I guess when you hear like the kids growing up and they listen to pop music, they don't like to listen to this Mexican music because they're like, that's not music. It's just where you're born and raised, I guess.
Mhm.
And my dad, I guess, he just gives you like the nod that, okay, cool, you're doing something, but
Yeah.
not really, I guess, like going to my shows and things like that. And I don't really invite them because I'm very like independent. So if I'm gonna do something or succeed, I don't want it to be like handed to me. Because if I wanted to, I could go to my dad and get like his contacts and be like, hey, send this for me or introduce me to this person. But I just like
Mhm.
pretty much doing it on my own. So I
You want
don't
to
think
make
I
your
would
own
say
lane.
support, but I have a
Awesome.
lot of friends. My friends are probably my biggest supporters for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
No.
can I ask a question? Are you
Yeah.
like first generation Mexican or
Me and my brother, yes. So my sister was born in Mexico, but she was raised here.
okay.
But
Mhm.
me and my brother were raised here, so I'm first generation. Yeah.
I figured just hearing the way you were talking about your dad,
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, I relate to that because my dad's, he was born in Mexico. He brought us here to the U.S. Well, I was born in the U.S.,
Yeah.
but it's a different vibe being first
Very
generation.
different. Yeah.
They
He's
They
also.
learn as they go.
I'm
they
assuming he's northern as well, like northern
Sorry?
Mexican. I'm assuming he's northern Mexican as well.
Yes. Deep
Okay,
in it.
that
Yeah.
that makes sense. We have like a lot of family from like Acuña,
hmm
it's
Okay.
like that.
Nice.
Yeah, in that area. Like my wife's technically first generation
Okay, nice.
Mexican. Her
Yeah.
family comes from like the Piedras Negras and a couple places like that too.
Yeah.
So definitely it's a similar vibe in terms
it
of
just
like the
makes sense,
structure.
man. Because like the parents don't understand what you're trying to do. Like when I started this podcasting thing, my dad was the same way. He just didn't understand it. He's like, you're wasting
Yeah.
time and this and that. And now that we're having a little bit of success, he's like, oh, okay, you're doing something.
Same. Yeah. That's my mom is. So, because when I was younger, because I was always been into acting and singing.
Mhm.
So when I was 15, I was actually in this international performing arts where pretty much you go to acting school and then you go to California and you do this whole showcase. So it was pretty much like an acting school where you like sang and that and did all these things. And my
Yeah.
mom, even though I guess they don't want to support, they were still there and it was expensive and I was young, so they did pay for that. They pay their support comes from money, okay, I'll support you by giving you this, but it's
Mhm.
different when it comes to affection or any of that. But they do support when they think it's going somewhere. So like my music now, I guess I'm doing a little bit more numbers now, and people are starting to, I guess, know me more in the area. Now she's like, oh, okay, well, you're going somewhere. So my mom's more like understanding.
Uh-huh.
Then my dad's, I mean, he's not really about like numbers and success. He's more about talent and things of that nature. But I don't
Uh,
think he's really ever like fully heard me sing because I never really sing in front of them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is it because your style is so different that
yeah, for sure.
it's a comfort thing too?
Yeah, right now I'm doing because I'm working on a Spanish EP, so I am including some part of like my Mexican roots in there, so that's gonna be
That.
interesting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
for that.
What's it
Yeah.
called? I mean, it's something that like I know is difficult, but like it's something you should definitely be proud of. Like you've made yourself like your own lane in the sense
Yeah.
that like it even without like that initial support, like long term, I think you'll find like that they will eventually kind of see it. And if they don't, then that's okay too.
And that's fine.
But
Yeah, for
but you're
sure.
kind of doing your own thing, and people are noticing. And when people notice it, and as long as you specifically also like what you're doing, that's like the most important thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you don't like what you're doing, like let's say hypothetically speaking, you did get kind of pushed into more like norteño music, and like you went down that route and you started doing it, but you didn't like it, and you just said
Yeah.
it like it would have been a lot more difficult for you to like feel comfortable with that than you are doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's my biggest flex is that I'm doing it on my own,
I think it's
other than
awesome,
like,
actually.
yeah, for sure.
That's super awesome, especially because like you said, your dad has connections, but you rather just build on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
That's super honorable and super cool of you, man.
Yeah. It makes me
Yeah.
feel better because my brother, he's of course he's more well known than me because he plays for like these big bands. He plays the accordion and he's a
Okay.
singer. So he loved Mexican music, so he was able to use my dad, of course, like without trying to use him, of course.
Mhm.
So I guess like that's just different. If I would have loved it, I think I would have done the same thing, but it's just my heart's just not there yet. One day maybe I want to do
Yeah.
something like that, but not right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
To
As
see.
the style and the culture change, maybe you'll find a
Yeah, for
place where
sure.
you're like, okay, I'm ready to jump in that style of
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Like I know it because I mean it took how many people like time with like country music's another example of that too. Like a lot of people
Oh
were
yeah.
just not okay with the way that especially older people in country, just as like a comparison, like really don't like the new country stuff.
They don't. Yeah, for sure. It's a
But
big debate. Yeah.
yeah, and then a lot of the newer people that some of them like it and they pay homage to it, but some of them are like, it's not really my style, it's not really my bag. Like I want to do my own thing, and a lot of those people find success, like in that lane that way. I mean, you're getting a lot of people that are just doing something different, like whether people like them or not. Like a good example would be like Florida Georgia Line.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a lot of people within Florida Georgia Line, like a lot of people in the country scene do not like them, especially older country heads.
Yeah.
But they found a lot of success because there's a lot of like music that's changing within that scene, like there would be in pop or there would be in like regional Mexican music. That's just going to continue to happen, and they found their way into something that people also like.
Yeah.
um
It evolves. It evolves, and then it goes back, and then it comes. You know, it's everywhere. Like
yeah,
Mexican music has like corridos tumbados now, which I don't like at all. But it's the new generation that love
yeah,
it. You know, but it just evolves. Yeah.
They're
yeah.
fine. I can say that much. They do sound a little off. Like,
A little bit. For me, for my liking, I bet they love it, and if their heart is there, that's awesome. But it's just not for me right now.
like to be honest, even newer corridos, they're not for me. It
Yeah,
feels
I can dance them, but I just can't sing
there you go.
The wild.
Yeah, that's funny.
them.
Growing up first generation, did you have any other challenges like besides trying to get into music? You like as a child, did you feel any challenges or toughness or obstacles?
Oh, for sure. Well, I guess my to this day, I feel like I never know. I guess my Spanish and my English. I always knew more English and Spanish.
Mhm.
Whenever I talk Spanish, my parents make fun of me because I talk really, really fast.
Okay.
Unless like I'm on the phone at work or something, I sound professional, but it's just it's tough. You know, sometimes you
Mm.
just feel more American than your Mexican family, but then you feel super Mexican compared to, you know, the Americans, your friends and everything. So I guess it was just an identity crisis. I never knew where I fit in, and I just didn't in either or, and that's fine.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But no, I mean, I love where I come from, so I never really had like in that aspect, I guess,
Mhm.
difficulties.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. The only reason I asked that is because I'm actually working on another podcast with immigration and stuff, and talking to people that have immigrated and people that are
Yeah.
first generation. And I love asking that question because, like, for me, my hardest thing was I learned Spanish first, and then I learned English.
Hmm.
When I was learning English, I moved to Mexico,
Yeah.
so then I forgot everything, and then I came back, and then like for 2 years, I didn't know how to read because I was like, well, I was flipping and flopping back and forth, and it was hard to catch on at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Me, I lived in Mexico for a long periods of time just because I don't know if you guys ever removed your tonsils, but my tonsils just kept exploding. Like it sounds so nasty, but they kept exploding in my mouth. So I couldn't be in Houston because the weather apparently had a big um,
Okay.
effect on that. So if it was too cold, like I couldn't breathe, or if it was this, like I was young, so they would
Mhm.
move me to Mexico. They would just ship me off every time, and then I would come back when it was hot.
Yeah.
So for me in my mind, I did learn English first because my siblings were already older. They were like 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So then when I went back to Mexico, I didn't know that much Spanish. So then I learned over there, and then I came back and I just talked funny because when you're from like North Mexico, you kind of sing everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I came back and I was just talking funny. And I was gonna do like a example right now, but I don't want to embarrass myself. But I would talk so funny and everybody would make fun of me. So then I went back to English. So it was like then I just mastered both, I guess, living
Yeah.
in this house.
Eventually you do, but
Yeah,
it's a struggle when you're a
it
kid.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
definitely
it's
things I
but we
struggle.
embrace the struggle. It's a good
Of
experience.
course.
You learn.
as
Yeah.
you should. Like I don't know. I think it's cool. Like it's cool listening to it as somebody who kind of like. So to put in perspective, like ethnically, I'm half Mexican and I'm half like just a mix of white, just every kind of white on the other side. But I was raised in a Hispanic household, but a Hispanic household that was raised Tejano, in the sense that like they weren't raised with Spanish in the house. Um, the '60s were kind of tough, especially in places like Victoria, Texas, places like that. So my grandparents never taught me. Well, never taught me, never taught my parents like my mom
Okay.
and the sisters how to speak Spanish, even though they spoke Spanish in the house for some kind of weird reason. Honestly, the reason was probably based in a lot of bad stuff,
Yeah.
and then over time, like we never learned, and so it was a lost piece of our like generation that I had wanted so much to like understand, and that's something that like as I've gotten older I've been able to kind of pick up more, like, and especially with my wife, like my wife being like first generation, like I don't speak fluent Spanish, but I understand a lot. And
Okay.
like,
What
so
do you
I'll
consider
listen.
yourself more?
Uh, it's hard to
Where do you
say
fit in?
because, like, because the thing is, like, I mean, Danny knows, like, when I was going through high school and stuff, like, a lot of people would say, like, you're too Mexican for, like, the white people, but you were also too white for the Mexican
Yeah.
people. Like, there was times, and I don't know if you, maybe from the opposite perspective, too, I used to have a lot of, like, of my Mexican people, like, tell me, like, you're not us, you don't look like us, you don't speak Spanish, no sabo kid, like, like just and it's all in good fun sometimes, but sometimes they were serious and they were like mean about
Yeah.
it. Like they're like, you don't fit in with us, we don't want you to be around.
Yeah.
And it was hurtful, especially seeing that they would see my cousins and think a completely different perspective, just
Yeah.
based on that, like somebody that's like really close, my first cousins at that. So it was interesting, but I honestly I found I always feel closer, I guess, to my Hispanic heritage,
Okay.
just because I was kind of raised more around it. But
Yeah.
I have been able to, and I was pretty like, I guess, to be kind of truthful a little bit, I was a little bit abrasive towards my other heritage, like
Okay.
because they never really pushed anything on me, and I never got to really learn anything about the other side of my family. I really learned a lot about just that. I knew my like grandma like country music and stuff like that, but like there was not a culture around it besides just like the general family lines. Whereas like where I grew up, like when I grew up like proud listening to Tejano music, like things like that.
Okay.
Like that's what I grew up around that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, it was interesting. So I definitely understand that just from like a different perspective, I guess.
Yeah. My friend, the one I told you she's from Kentucky, she's one of my best friends. Her name is Mary. She's half white, half Mexican.
Okay.
And we give her a tough time, I guess, because her Spanish is not as great as what most Spanish, but
Yeah.
she's way more Mexican than me. Like it's just like the food she cooks, the music. She's like all about corridos and Mexican music, and
Hmm.
it's funny because you would never see that because she's
No.
from a girl from Kentucky. Her
Hmm.
mom is white, but when I met her, I was like, okay. So I guess I could see, before when people used to say, okay, you're too for the half white, half Mexican, so like you wouldn't fit in.
Yeah.
But then she changed my mind completely because I'm like, yeah, she takes the cake. She's way more Mexican
She's
than me.
fully embraced it.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
love that
Yeah,
though. I love
yeah,
that though. I think that's awesome. Is she
yeah, for
fluent? And
sure.
she's pretty fluent in Spanish for the most
She's
part though. Like,
fluent, but like I guess when you're put in the spot, you
hmm,
just lose it, and you're like, it just sounds bad
yeah.
sometimes. And I'm like that too because I'm fluent in Spanish, but sometimes you just get nervous and so
Yeah.
everything comes out like a no sabo
Hmm.
kid. Um, but yeah, and my sister-in-law, she is half Mexican, half Colombian, but she looks 100% Caucasian. She doesn't know Spanish, and if she does, she's never gonna try because in my family they're very tough. She's my brother's wife, um, and she's just like, I'm not about to say something wrong and have everybody make fun of me. So she just decided to never speak Spanish. So she's like full
No.
just English, but she looks white, like fully white. So
Yeah.
it works for her.
So she just kind of embraced it.
That's tough
Yeah.
for the family, dude. You mess up one time, they're gonna clown
Oh
you.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
100%.
For
That doesn't
sure.
change in English either.
They were my
Like,
personal bullies growing up.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you're doing a Spanish EP.
I am. Yeah.
What
That's the plan right
inspired
now.
that?
I just Spanish music, like I said, because I said eventually I'll get there. It
mhm,
just comes to be more natural now. Because I was doing English for a long time and I kept postponing this English EP that never came.
mhm,
And it was always ready. I always had like content to, because I've written like over 100 songs. I want to say I've written since I was like probably like 17. That I always had an EP to put out, but every time I was about to put it out, it just didn't feel right.
mhm.
So I kept writing another EP, and then I kept writing another EP, just releasing singles, and they just didn't go. They just didn't feel right. So then I would postpone it, and then I started writing one Spanglish song that came out last year. It's called Craving with Chelsea Avina,
Okay.
and I did one single Spanish song, and it just felt so good. Like I guess to sing in Spanish or to have
Yeah.
like it just flew, and I was like, oh, I like it. I feel it. So then I started just writing Spanish, and ever since then I just can't write an English song right now because
Dude,
it just everything just comes out in Spanish.
that was a great song, by the way.
Oh,
Like that
thank
was one
you.
of the first songs I heard that was yours, and I was like, "Whoa! Like this dude is fire."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's one of my
I
probably
didn't,
my favorite song.
you know, when we heard about you, like I really didn't know what to expect. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like let's see what he's got. So we start going to the catalog on Spotify, and I was like, dude, this dude's dope as fuck.
Oh, thank you.
Craving was the first song I heard, and I was like, I definitely want this dude on the podcast. Like,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's my favorite. It's probably what inspired every song going forward. It just put like
Mhm.
it was the first time I feel like I released something and it just felt right. Like I
Mhm.
was like, oh, okay, I think I know exactly where I'm going from there. So then I just released 2 English songs, and after that, it's just everything just went Spanish. So
That's
and I'm really
awesome.
excited. Everything, yeah, and every song sounds completely different. I
mm-hmm.
have a song with CA that's coming out
I saw.
next
Excited to
week.
hear that, by the
Saw
way.
you
That's
teasing.
Yeah,
gonna.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it gonna
So
be like fully Spanish for that one,
it's
or is it like a little bit of a Spanglish kind of like?
like 60-70% Spanish.
Okay.
The reason is the first single is because it's the only one I think that aside from Craving that's kind of Spanglish, but it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the EP. CA
Nice.
does like 2 verses in Spanish were pretty cool. He sounds really good, and then the rest is in English. But my part is very like wannabe pop reggaeton, but it's still pop. It's a
Mhm.
very tropical song, so it's really exciting because every song after that sounds completely different. I feel like they
It's
just get better after that.
it's got like that tropical influence, but it's not
Yeah,
necessarily
for
a
sure.
tropical like reggaeton. Like it's its own thing.
Yeah,
Like
for sure. So
okay,
it goes from like tropical to and then to my verse is a little bit where it could be on a reggaeton song, but then it goes back to pop, and then CA comes with the hip hop. So it's very like 3 genres in one. So it's very
I'm
exciting.
so excited to hear this. This sounds good. This sounds already like right up my alley. So I'm really excited to
Yeah,
listen to this.
I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. So I'm releasing a song every month until the EP drops. Hopefully that's April. That's what I'm aiming for.
Nice,
Okay.
Yeah.
nice. I think that's always a good goal. Especially like you said, you're kind of feeling a little bit more comfortable, kind of feeling out like the music now, and you kind of feel like you have it. And that's
Yeah.
and that's such an awesome feeling when you finally feel like when you're working towards something and you finally like have that spark. You know, it makes
Yeah.
everything worth it. It makes those nights where you just get frustrated with yourself
Yeah.
worth it. And I don't know, that
Yeah.
makes me that's super awesome for you, dude. And I'm like
Thank you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to actually like listen to the EP when it does come out.
Oh, thank
Like
you. Thank you.
so,
I hope you
and
guys
when
are
it
coming to my show.
March, right?
when
Mark, oh, you're gonna be in Kentucky. I forgot you're not here.
what day in March?
It's March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day, so
March
Okay.
17th.
I'm
It's my
really
dad's
excited
birthday.
for that.
Ooh,
Whose
that,
birthday?
That's my dad's birthday.
It's bro. I promise you, you're like the sixth person that March 17th is her dad's birthday. So I feel like
That's a
everyone's just lying
wild.
to me because
No, my no, my dad's literally a leprechaun. He was
nice.
Irish, mostly Irish, but he grows a red beard. It doesn't grow out red anymore. But that was like we always call him
That's
leprechaun
cool.
because that's how it would come out. He was born on St. Patrick's Day. He's not short though. He's tall, but I don't
Okay.
know. Anyways, regardless, it's not important. But what's it called? March 17th.
you're
Uh,
performing at Warehouse Live, right? March
Yeah,
okay.
Warehouse Live for Mini
We'll
Fest.
make sure
Yeah.
to showcase it though,
Yes.
so that way you can see some people come
Oh, hell
see
yeah.
you guys.
Oh,
We'll
thank
make
you.
sure to
Yeah,
like
so
promote it
excited.
on Twitter and stuff as well.
I'm gonna do
Because
my best to make it out there too. Like I'm
yeah,
Oh,
excited.
hopefully, yeah. We'll have a green beer.
Yeah, there we go.
put it on Zoom so I can watch it. Put me on live, and I'll come and support. That sounds dope.
Where can we find tickets for this for whoever's watching and listening?
Oh, yeah, so the link's in my bio. So it just pretty much you just select the artist that you're interested in seeing. And they have really good DJs coming, so I'm really excited to just see them too. I just like seeing other people. I get influence from other artists, so
Sweet.
yeah, I'm more excited for the lineup than myself probably, but it's still exciting.
And
I think
how often do you perform live? Like how many shows have you done? Or
I've done not actually so my own music, I didn't start performing until last year just because I wasn't a performer. I had like a lot of like little festivals and then COVID happened and that
yeah.
just blew everything. So I did like a virtual show and then when Craving came out, we actually had like a little release party thing. So Chelsea performed her set, then I performed right after her. So that was probably the first time I had ever performed my songs, which was last
okay.
year March. So ever since then, but it hasn't. I'm pretty new
Wow,
to
you're
like.
gonna be coming full circle.
Yeah, that's
Like you're going
Yeah.
from
Oh
like
yeah, I didn't even
your
think about
first
that.
time like coming
Yeah,
back
you're
into
right.
March and coming back. Like that's gonna be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I didn't even think about that.
No.
So I
So
would ask. Sorry, Danny. I would ask, when it comes to influences, because you say you do get influenced by other artists, and I know you had mentioned a few people like, you know, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, got a few pop artists from back in the early 2000s. What are some of your bigger influences when it comes to your music? Like, do you have any like ones that would be like your favorites?
Oh, so I think different influences, I guess when I write, so it's so different from when I for to get inspired. So when I write music, I think of Bozzy. The way he writes music, I think is a vibe. Him and Fora for sure. Not Fora, I'm sorry.
I was like, Forrest dope too. Don't worry.
I do love Fora. He's from
Forrest,
Houston, but
great songwriter.
uh, what's his name? Russ and Bozzy are probably my favorite songwriters. But I don't know if y'all know who Alec Benjamin is.
Yeah, I
I
know who
love
Benjamin
the
is.
way he writes and my voice. I was very insecure, not insecure, but I always wish my voice was deeper because it's a very high sometimes for a guy. Until
Yeah.
I met Alec Benjamin's music, he just made me feel, you know what, it's fine, because he has
Yeah.
a very like high pitched voice and it sounds like a very like kid sometimes, but he's like older than me, so I thought that was really dope. So he made me feel more confident about my voice. So he's definitely one of my inspirations.
Alex, an
But I'm
amazing
very
musician.
90s, so like Britney,
Okay.
Christina, Justin, Chris Brown, those are still my old ones in my
I
playlist.
love that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called? I do think that's cool though. I mean, Alec is an amazing influence as
Oh
well
yeah, I love
because
him. Yeah.
I Built a Friend was the first song that I had heard from him, which is basically like the song because I was also really interested in his writing, and like that's when like okay I gotta listen to more. But
Oh yeah,
he's just got so many bangers, like
so good.
really
He's
good
so
songs.
underrated. Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
for
For
sure.
those who
Yeah.
aren't listening in like a chat, definitely check out Alec Benjamin's music if you
Oh
haven't
yeah,
checked it out.
and
It's
he's so
super
good
great.
live. Like him and his guitar only on stage, and you just feel like the whole. I don't know if you've seen him live, but it's really good. It's just like
No.
close to Ed Sheeran.
Oh, that's awesome. Because like
Yeah.
I've heard both. I've heard Alec is pretty because I've seen him on TikTok and stuff, and I've heard he's pretty much exactly how he sounds in the studio, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
for sure. Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
nuts.
my inspirations changed though a lot. A lot of female singers, of course. I don't know if you guys know who Melanie Martinez is.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah, so
Melanie Martinez
she
is.
influences a lot of like a lot of my things. So I'm really
I think I could hear that a little bit in there. Okay, I
yeah.
can respect that, and like in some of your music, like she's got a cool vibe. Really,
Oh
she's
yeah, she's
really
so
pop.
different.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's bringing something special to the pop scene.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I took off because I always try to like find my identity, and a lot of people always ask me like why I use like a teddy bear for my music, why I use this, and she made it more, I guess, understandable for me because I started using it before she even came out in music,
mhm.
but she uses like these kid things in her music, and
Uh-huh.
they kind of like help people understand why I use the bear, so that was really cool too.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hell
Cool.
yeah. What's it
That's
called?
we actually
Oh,
had someone ask like where did the bear come from and what it represented to you. Actually on Instagram. We were gonna get into this right now, but that's funny that you said that because it was one of the Instagram questions. Like,
Oh yeah, they always ask, and I try to answer. I guess the because I use a teddy bear for either pictures or promotion. I'm
mhm.
actually mad because I always use a teddy bear for all of my album covers or like single covers,
Yeah.
and this one for "Love Me for You," I didn't realize the sketch didn't include the teddy bear next to me on the cartoon. So I'm like, oh damn, it just killed all of my like the list
The
of
continuous
single.
kind of like
Yeah, so yeah, because I use it as like to kind of represent childhood trauma in a way
hmm
like is the last thing I guess I'm holding on to like childhood since I never really had one. I guess like for me, I never really enjoyed my childhood, so I always use it like my music is very up tempo, but behind the lyrics is kind of like deep because I want to make serious music or music that's not so like that doesn't have like the best message, but it doesn't sound like it's a bad message. Like the song you can bop to it, but in reality, if you dig deep into the lines, it's not that
hmm
nice, but you don't realize because you're bopping to it. So that's kind of like the thing I like to do. If I wanted to write like a very serious or sad song, I don't want it to sound sad. You know, I want it to sound like you can
Yeah.
bop to it and like pretty much like dance your problems away. So that's like pretty much like my goal when I make music.
oh,
Okay.
that's cool. That's interesting that you do it that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah,
Better to dance than to cry. So
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like you said, something that helps kind of get that out, like for yourself too. You're like, it's a
Yeah.
way for you to express yourself in a way that makes you feel completely comfortable, and
Yeah.
also it's something they're like, oh, I think people would also like this music. I could, I'm
Yeah.
bopping to it, so why wouldn't they be able to?
Yeah, for sure. And
yeah.
also
Hell
because
yeah.
I used to be called Gammy Bear in middle school, growing high school. Sorry. So my original name is Gamaniel. but no one knew how to say it. So they would call me Gammy, and then from Gammy went to Gummy, and then Gummy Bear, Gammy Bear. So the bear was always around me somehow, whether it was in my name or whether it was in the music I was doing. So
Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah.
that is cool because it followed you in a good way, and now you have like Gammy Gonzz as like the name, so it kind of like you can even kept like that little piece too that just
Yeah.
like a part of you. I think it's awesome, and
sure.
then the bear is like a nice like homage to like that as well. I think that's pretty sweet as well.
Yeah.
That's super creative, like to have thought of that and just included it and everything. Because you also included a gummy bear in Craving, the music video.
I did, yeah. It's always around it. We were actually supposed to use this like giant bear head that we have for our music videos, but I completely forgot to shoot that. So we just used the teddy bear at the beginning or the gummy bears. I always try to add bears in everything I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna be looking now for just like more bears in different videos and stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty freaking cool. Well,
Thank
I
you.
noticed something else behind you, and we talked about it before the show, but I noticed you have Chucky over there, kind of
Oh, I
hanging
do.
around with Child's Play. So I gotta ask, are you a horror fan? Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. At work, everybody's like creeped out by my Chucky obsession. Or all my friends actually, no one likes that I like Chucky. But I love him.
no,
Yeah.
it is it is a completely respectable thing to like Chucky.
Oh,
I love the Child's Play movies are amazing. Like,
yeah.
well,
If you
not
don't
all
like
of them.
Chucky, there's
Most of
I
the
don't
Child's
understand.
Play movies are most of the Child's Play movies
Not the
are.
last two
Yes.
before the series. Those two were trash, but I like every other one.
I heard the series is great, by the way. I
Oh,
haven't seen it yet.
amazing. I watched it
Okay.
live and then I watched it as well on streaming services for a little bit.
Okay. So I'll ask. So you like Chucky for sure. What are a couple other like horror kind of icons that you have like when it comes to like when you're watching horror movies? And
Yeah.
is there any way like that have those kind of influences that would ever enter your work when it comes to like your music videos and things?
So yes. So I have a song called Afraid. And that wasn't the last one. It was the one before that last. And that's featuring Iris. This really good artist too from Houston. So that kind of got inspired because I was excited because Scream 5 was gonna come out.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Ghostface fan. So it's like Chucky and Ghostface are like right there next to each other. Um, so I guess it just depends. I don't know. I don't think Chucky has ever influenced any of my music, but Ghostface did for sure. I think that he had a big part of it. So I don't know if people realize, but in the single art for Afraid of the Dark, there's two kids, which is me and the other artist, and the single cover behind is like a ghost, and it kind of looks like Ghostface, but not really. So that
Yeah.
was some purpose too, because I really like him.
That's awesome. That's such a cool
Yeah.
homage. I like
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
dope.
shit.
Oh,
now. Being a horror fan, I fuck with that heavily.
Oh, yeah.
I am just an absolute nut for everything
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah,
And
some if I like, I can't watch Saw. Okay, one, I can't watch Saw. I cannot get through a single movie of Saw just because it's too gory. And
It's
there's
too
like
gory.
it's too much. Because even
Yeah.
Michael Myers is too gory for me, but I'll watch it just because I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
So I'll watch those, but even those are too gory for me. I
But the
can't do Saw.
classic first Halloween though, it's really hard to beat that because there's really
Oh,
no
yeah.
gore. There's really no gore in that one.
Yeah, I love
And
that. I
it's
love that
actually
one.
super scary.
Yeah.
What's it called? Totally. So that's I don't know. I think that's awesome. I love a good like I'm a big fan of slashers too, like
Oh
specifically.
yeah,
So
for sure.
like Ghostface, Child's Play, like Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, like Freddy Krueger, stuff like that's all up my alley.
Yeah. Last year I didn't know what to choose if I wanted to be Ghostface or Chucky, so I was both. So for half the day I
Like
went
half and
to
half.
yeah, no, I went to a party first, and I kind of I had most of the Chucky set, but I had to create like the shorts myself and things of
Yeah.
that. So I went from Chucky from the day. I actually had three costumes, one for work, which was like a superhero. I had to be peachy, and then for Chucky, I had another one, and I took it to a party, and then I came back home like at 10 to switch to my Scream costume, and then I also customized that one. I don't know why I always have to add Mexican boots to everything I wear. So I list the has like it's like a long like
Yeah.
dress for Scream, so I cut it all up and I put Mexican boots on, like white boots with a. So
nice.
it was really cool. Yeah,
That's the one you
I
I
have.
think it's
was
awesome.
customizing.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
that was fun.
Yeah. That's the one you
freaking-
have on your Instagram, right? Like the picture of it on your
I
Instagram.
do, yeah.
I
Yeah.
stalked your Instagram for a little bit to kind of figure out who you were.
And I change it a lot because then I'd be archiving things and then I put them back and then I archive them. It's just
That's why when we started the podcast, I said you were the short king, because every other picture of you in shorts, they're like little tiny shorts.
oh, I thought you meant short king. I was like, how does he know I'm short? Oh, okay, that makes sense now. I do wear shorts a lot. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called? Well, I also am a fan of short shorts. I love if
Oh
I can
yeah,
wear them. Like I cannot wear them right now in Kentucky because it's cold as
that's
shit
cool.
here.
Yeah, same. I still wear
But
them, and it's freezing over here, but I still wear them.
Do
yeah,
you? Dude, that's intense. Like I
Yeah.
work outside and I can't do shorts right now. It's too cold. Way too
Oh
cold.
yeah. And I go to the gym like right after work every day, so
mhm,
I just can't work out in pants. So I'm always have my shorts on. If I go out, if it's
I
a
definitely get
bar,
that.
I have to have my shorts on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely understand that. I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I can't like I've tried with pants and like your whole everything just feels like
Yeah,
gross
It
after.
feels
You're just
yeah,
like
for
ugh.
sure. If I you know
So
if I was insecure, I probably wouldn't wear legs shorts because sometimes I don't know if I have to work leg days. If I skip leg days for a long time, I won't wear shorts. But
amazing legs, by the way.
thank you. The
Like I said,
only thing I like about me,
I stalked your Instagram and I was like, damn, this dude like works legs out every day.
I do. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I ever not done legs for sure.
Yeah.
Some way or another.
Yeah. So
I
are you really
refuse.
big into fitness and like staying healthy?
Oh yeah, I used to be 400 pounds, so I cannot not do
No
like
way.
healthy. Yeah,
really,
I was a big boy growing up my whole life. Yeah, from now 400 pounds, I was like 300 something. I won't say 400, but I
Wow.
always exaggerate. Is a Mexican in me. Yeah, but I was pretty big growing up. I don't think I was ever thin until I was like probably like after high school, like at 21, where I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So I started hitting the gym every day, and I just lost all that weight.
Did you become like addicted to the gym and to
Oh
working?
yeah, I
Yeah.
would go twice, especially when I was like I think the age of 21 and 22. It was a little bit too crazy because I would wake up at 4 and I would go run and then like work out and then I would come home, go to work, and
Mhm.
then after work I would go back to the gym and then wake up again at 4. It was crazy because I
oh,
wasn't
you're in
eating
two a
either.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I guess as I was younger, which I'm still young, but I was younger and health wasn't really like I just wanted to look good. I didn't care about my health, so I wasn't doing it like the right way because I wasn't eating. So
Mhm.
it was pretty bad. It got really unhealthy because I went from 300 something pounds to like 160 in less than a year. I think that's
Ooh.
crazy. So after that, if you lose it the wrong way, it's gonna come back. So then I had to like, snap, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
can't be doing this. So, and I just felt weak. I was always weak and sleepy. So I
Gotcha.
had to do something about it. So now I'm a little bigger than what I was a year ago, but I feel fine.
Man,
Well,
you
that's
want to
good though.
fitness, man? I need to figure out how you went down to 160, bro.
Oh yeah, I really don't understand. And it's crazy because I only know by Snapchat, like how your memories.
Hmm.
So I look back at 3 years and I'm like, what the fuck? Like my face was so small and I just look very small. And I feel like, I feel sad because I'm like, damn, the insecurities in me, I wish I looked like that, but I knew it wasn't healthy. So
Yeah.
Well, you look super in shape now. I mean, like you definitely
thank
like,
you.
yeah, like I mean, that like me and Danny are both chubby gang.
We're
So
big. Yeah.
what's it
Not
called?
at
So I was
all.
not what's it called? I was a very skinny kid. I was 150 for like the longest time, and then college
You had your
comes,
turn.
alcohol comes, and everything. Yeah, it
Oh yeah.
happens.
Oh yeah. That's my biggest. I stopped drinking beer. So the time that I stopped eating meat and chicken, which was November, December, I stopped
Yeah.
drinking beer. So I haven't had a beer since. I've had liquor for sure because I'm a liquor person. I cannot not do liquor, but
It's so
I
hard
haven't
to
had a
like
beer.
cut that though.
Oh
Like
yeah.
beers, like I'm somebody who would drink beer. Like we used to
Oh
drink
yeah.
beer every
I love
podcast. Like
beer. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were doing it sometimes weekly, sometimes 2 times a week. So we
Mhm.
were like, and not to mention like I would go out with my friends and stuff during the week. And whenever I go to my suegros, like we drink the pretty much the entire
Oh
time.
yeah. Especially in the Mexican family. Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. You
it's
just
it's
can't. You start drinking at 14, 13.
and he likes Budweiser, so we're drinking a lot of Budweiser.
hmm
Like it's pretty much like his go-to. It's that or like I think they're called Benitez. I forget what they're from
Barrito,
like yes,
yeah, barriles,
yeah, they're
yeah, I know what
delicious.
you're talking about.
They're great. They're really smooth beer.
It tastes like Corona to me. Corona Modelo, one of those two, a little
I
bit.
have Modelo. It's kind of like Modelo,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a Corona Modelo person.
A little
Yeah.
bit of lime, a little bit of salt, good to go.
Oh yeah, just don't
Oh,
offer me a Bud Light. I'll drink anything that's not a Bud Light. That's it.
same.
You
Same.
know, I was in a fraternity like growing in college, so pretty much any beer you give me, I'm probably gonna drink it. Like I'm just
Yeah,
like
it's like
Keystone Light,
liquor.
Natty Light. I
Yeah, I drink anything honestly, especially at a point where you're already there. Just give me
yeah
whatever it is.
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
you gotta keep the buzz going.
Mm-hmm.
I can do everything. Do you have okay? So do you have a liquor that like you can't do like which is 100% a no go? Because
Vodka.
like for me, vodka.
I
Did you
can't
have a
smell
bad
vodka. I
time?
can't
Did
think
you have
of
a
vodka.
bad time with vodka
Oh my
before?
God. Yeah, because when you're younger and you're in high school, you want to go to clubs, you're not old enough.
Yeah.
So go to the clubs that let you in and just put the X, but you would still get liquor somehow.
Yep.
It was always vodka, like Ciroc vodka, and it was just like really long nights, and now I can't smell it. A shot of vodka would kill me.
Ciroc is awful too. It's one of those like
Horrible.
it's one of those like liquors that's like super expensive, and you're like, oh, this is like top shelf liquor. No, it's
It's
trash
not.
vodka.
It's
It's
trash.
trash
It's not.
vodka.
You don't realize until you're older, because I really thought I was drinking some bougie shit.
Yeah.
So
If you jump back into vodka at some point and decide you want to go that route kind of slowly, Tito's is the way to go.
oh, see,
100%.
that's different because I can do Tito's.
Yeah, Tito's is
Um,
smooth. It's
yeah, I can do Tito's.
Tito's are Deep Eddies. Like both of those
Yeah.
are good. Deep Eddies more for like the flavored stuff. Like they have like their sweet tea one, and then their grapefruit one is super
Yeah.
fire. No, but
Yeah, and
I
then
understand
tequila will
that.
get me in trouble. Tequila, I'm very transparent when it comes to tequila. Like I just start talking. You become my therapist once I have tequila in me, but and then dark. I never go to dark liquors like Hennessy or things like that. But I am a whiskey person, so like Buchanan, and people don't consider that a whiskey, but for me it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dude.
cranberry
that's
and
a
whiskey and Buchanan. That's my goal. That's my go to go
that's
to.
a great combo.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I've never tried that one before. I
Because
usually
you get
really.
you
Oh
get the
yeah, that's
sour
big.
notes of that.
yeah,
Yeah, cranberry and Buchanan or pineapple, either or. It's a spot.
Okay.
try that. I'm more of a Buchanan's and Topo Chico with the splash of lime kind of guy.
I can't do Topo Chico, but I mean, but I do if it has cranberry and pineapple. I just add it there, but not by itself.
Okay, yeah, no, I switched to that because I ran into a problem where Buchanan's wouldn't get me drunk anymore.
Must
So
be nice.
I had to mellow it out, I had to balance it out because I was drinking
Yeah.
way too much of it.
Yeah, it takes a lot for me to get drunk now. I feel like back then, like 2 beers, and I was like on like just out there. But I feel like now I'm always the last one to get drunk, and it kind of bothers me a little bit
It's
because you waste more money,
Yeah.
So yeah, and my goal,
it's-
if I go out, it's because I want to get fucked up. I don't go out
Yeah.
just to to go
social.
out. Like I want to get
Yeah.
fucked up.
it's
Yeah,
the
I wanna
tolerance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me all the way. Like when I go out drinking, I want to go on an adventure. I want to get
Yeah. Oh, same. It's kind of
I'm-
toxic. That's my toxic trait.
yeah.
It's a respectable toxic trait because it's a
Yeah,
toxic trait I also
wouldn't
had at
change
one
it.
time. I used to so I was asking that question because it gave me flashbacks. So that the alcohol I can't drink actually is whiskey, not normal whiskey, but like specifically the honey Jack Daniels. I got
I
so
love
hammered
that.
off honey. I drank an entire bottle of it by myself one
Oh
time,
no.
and I got so sick that I was sick for like I got alcohol poisoning. I was sick for like 3 days, and to this day, and this was in college. So this was like 5-6 years ago. Like I can't even smell it. I can't even smell
Oh
it.
yeah.
Like, it is
Yeah,
horrible.
I know what you mean. That's me with vodka. Can't even think about it.
Especially like that goddamn Ciroc. I was like, you poor guy. It's rough.
Yeah, for sure. I was 18 over there partying with Ciroc bottles. Choose your flavor, any flavor you want.
I'm
I go
very-
with the apple Ciroc. If we're gonna go Ciroc, it's 100% apple.
Mine was a peach. I love the peach.
Okay, peach
Back
is
in
good
the day.
too,
I've never been a fan of apple flavored alcohol, like at all.
bro. My
I
first.
used to drink the apple beers. You remember the apple beers that were
Yeah, oh,
popular for a
yeah.
second?
The
Yeah,
reds,
Oh,
I used to love those.
Angry Orchards and stuff too.
Yeah.
those are pretty
Yeah,
good.
I used to drink a lot of those. I used to drink a lot of Red's Apple Ale and stuff too.
Same, yeah.
I would if they still made those, I would still respect them.
They have them in specific gasoline stations, but not always. Or at least they have the knockoffs.
There's a cool thing. If you ever do go and visit like Kentucky, like if you ever just want to join your friend and go visit, I don't know if she has family up here or anything anymore, but Tennessee going into Kentucky actually has great cider. So like it's a little different from what like a Red's Apple Ale, it's less beer like and it's more wine like in the sense that it's So if you like wine but more bubbly wine, that's what it's like. But it's like apple flavored. But there's a place in it's called Pigeon Forge, like Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, that area. In like Gatlinburg, they have this place called Tennessee Cider Company, and they have this blueberry one, and it is so good.
Oh,
Like literally, like you can mix it, you can drink it by itself, and it's still pretty. It's like 11%, I think, and then you can also put like a little whiskey in there or something too to spice it up, and it's awesome.
that sounds like a great time already.
Yeah,
I'm already visualizing it.
Highly recommend checking out Tennessee Gatlinburg area too. It's just a cool vibe.
Oh yeah, I love anything that's similar to wine. I love wine.
Do you?
Yeah. I can drink wine. Wine Fridays were a thing with me and my sister. We used to live together in Elbridge, so every Friday we would just have wine. I just love it.
Nice.
I'm a bubbly wine guy.
It's like being it's like being high. When I drink too much wine, you just up there. It just feels
You
like
get
a good
that light. You
time.
get that light drunk. It's like a
Yeah.
very like it's a head drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the
different
next
from,
day
like-
is horrible, but during the time, it's a good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Wine drunk's fun. Wine drunk's fun.
Yeah, it
Wine-
is.
wine drunk
But
is fun.
champagne and drunk the next day is the only thing that gives me a hangover is champagne and wine. I cannot drink champagne if I already drank liquor or beer or anything because if I just mix one like glass of champagne, that's it. I'm
I
getting
wonder if
fucked
you're.
up.
I wonder if
think
you're
it's the
allergic to it.
sugar. I think it's the sugar and like wine and champagne that doesn't mix well.
Yeah, because I can drink champagne, like just by itself, drink cups and cups of champagne, I'll be fine. But if I mix it with any sort of liquor and just have that one
Mm.
champagne will fuck me up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, no.
And it's not just me. I told everybody to pay attention to that. And since I said it, everybody starts realizing that the time they realize is that when they got fucked up is when they had champagne. Because you know when you get a section, they bring you the champagne bottles and they have that one, and they realize that that's the one that fucks them up. Is it
It's
just
the sleeper, man. It's the
Yeah.
sleeper because you're not expecting it. And then
Yeah.
because it's bubbly, it's light, right? It has these flavors that you're like, oh, okay, like I'm basically drinking brunch, right? I'm having
Yeah.
a little bit of that. The only thing I'm missing is the orange juice. And then you realize, oh no, that's like 15%. Like you just drank like the equivalent to
Oh,
like
yeah.
3-4 beers. Like you're gonna feel it very quickly.
Yeah, it's like having
Like-
4 Trulies after all those beers. You're
Yeah,
fucked up by
you're
then.
donezo. You're donezo.
Yeah, done.
That's like a good time.
It is a good time, but the pool shit. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait for summer now.
I can't wait for summer. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I hate
Well-
the cold, so I'm always ready.
I can't.
And
wait
I'm
for
ready for the summer vibes from your album too. That's gonna be or your EP. It's gonna be super sick. Like I
Oh,
like the
yeah.
idea of like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like you get to listen to your music, a little tropical vibe. I can just already
Yeah.
imagine it's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah, for
Bro,
sure. And I feel like the timing of them was really good because I feel like the one from March, it comes out on spring break. Right before the mini fest, I think that one's gonna be like a hit for some people. Like they're really gonna like that one.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we're gonna push the shit out of it too. Like as soon as we see it drop, we're gonna start sharing it everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, be watching it very closely.
Yeah, we're gonna be waiting for it. I'm excited for it. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
to go to your show. To be honest, I haven't been out for St. Patrick's Day in a very long time.
Same. This will be my first time going out in a long time for St. Patrick's. I'm excited.
Because last time I went out for St. Patrick's Day, I got banned from the pub, and I'm
What
banned from
pub? The pub?
the pub in Stafford at the fountain.
Stafford. I live right by there. I live like a few blocks, so I go there a lot for karaoke Mondays.
I'm banned for life from there. I'm not allowed. My
Are
pictures.
you?
Yeah.
Wow. Not the pub.
Yeah, dude. I got a little too wild on one St. Patrick's Day. I went to go watch Who Was Think. Don't even remember seeing them, but I was there the whole time.
Oh my god.
Apparently, I got so drunk, I started grabbing the trays of Jello shots that they were passing around, and just taking the whole tray at a time and passing it out to people and throwing them. I got escorted by the police off the.
So they
plane.
banned you for being generous? Wow.
Yeah, you should have seen the tab I had after that.
The reason was him. You know, if we're talking
Well,
about
they
this
made you pay
thing, like-
Yeah, I paid for every single shot, dude. It's
how much does that end
Oh.
up costing?
about a $1,200 tab, you know.
Ah, still gross.
Oh no,
It's still
sir.
gross.
Yeah,
Like you watched Tuba Stank got kicked out of the bar, and the reason was 100% you. I'm just gonna say, like,
Wow.
here's the thing.
What's-
I learned that day I can never drink Jaeger again because
oh, I love Jaeger, bro. I love Jaeger so much.
like
I don't think I've ever had you.
It's
I
so
even
good.
smell
It's
Jaeger
dark.
and I black out. Like as soon as I smell it, I'm out.
Oh,
How do you feel? How do you feel about licorice? Like, are you
Oh, I
like?
hate licorice. I can't.
Okay.
I hate licorice.
So that's the thing with Jaeger. Jaeger is a
Oh.
licorice flavored kind of
No.
like
Medicine.
very. It's very syrupy.
Like the
So when
shot, the green shot.
It's more like it's a really dark shot. So when you do it, like when you have like Jaeger, usually it's accompanied with something bubbly, like a Red Bull.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think I know. I think I've had. I think
So
I've
if
had.
you had a Jaeger bomb, where you see this dark liquor, you pop it into the drink and you just. Whew. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaeger. They're great. They're awesome.
They're fucking.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I love 'em.
I've
I
had.
love 'em.
I've had them.
Jaeger bombs, Vegas bombs, like just give me all the bombs. Like,
Vegas bombs are awesome. Jaeger bombs, they're horrible.
Vegas
yeah.
bomb, I can do. I can do Vegas bomb.
But yeah, I got way too drunk on Jaeger and green beer and ended up going a little crazy apparently. And yeah, I'm banned for life from there.
Wow.
Dude, I'm
I've
gonna
only-
bring them back, Gammy. Bring them back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's do green beers. St. Patrick's Day. Let's go. The last time I partied at St. Patrick's Day was probably in Austin for 6th Street, which was not a good experience either. I got chased by a cop wanting to arrest me, but my friends were like, no.
Oh my god.
I was just having a good time. I got a funny story. We went out for Austin and we were in 6th Street, and when I would drink a lot, I'm not an aggressive drinker. I just
Mhm.
laugh too much, and I just want to like keep partying and dancing. So I'm trying to keep my vibe, you know, kind of like upset. But
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot, and then there was a horse, and you know how in Sixth Street the cops are on top of horses.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is
So
so
I don't
weird.
know. I would never do that. I don't know what was in me, but I was trying to touch the horse, and then the cop slapped my hand, and he said, "Don't touch it," you know. So I don't know. I guess I didn't know it was a cop, so I slapped his hand back, and I was like, "Don't touch me!" Like whatever. So I slapped his hand, and then he was getting ready to get off his horse, you know, like I touched the cop. So then I was like, "Oh, you didn't catch me!" So I started running, and then my friends were like, "No, no, no, he's drunk. We're sorry, we're sorry." So then I guess he was like, "Just get him home." So I started running, and I kept falling. I had mini shorts, all like always, and I kept falling and falling, and then I saw this big snake, and like the Panthon, and it's actually on my Instagram, I think,
Oh,
and
like a boa, one of those guys.
like yeah, like the big yellow
Yeah.
Panthon.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and I can't do snakes. I don't touch snakes. I don't want to get near them. But I don't know why. I told the guys, "Can I hold the snake and take a picture?" So me and my cousin are holding a snake like right after I ran from the cop, and I don't remember taking that shit. So the next day, I woke up, you know, because apparently they threw me in an Uber in a minivan, took me to the hotel, and I woke up the next day and I was like, "Where the fuck am I?" I was in a hotel, and I started showering, and my whole body was just bleeding, like it
Oh,
hurt so bad. And then I
Oh,
woke up to see the picture of me with the pants on. I almost passed out. I was like, "Oh hell no!" So that was a
maybe
good
it's because it
experience.
was yellow and it was like, oh, this is a welcoming color, so I'm just gonna go in
It's
and hang out.
because I remember thinking of because you know I don't know if you ever seen an iconic picture of Britney Spears holding a snake.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's like,
So
I want to
that
be Britney's. I'm
I want to be
Britney,
Britney Spears, so
bitch.
let me fucking hold it. Oh my god. Yeah. I yeah, never again. St. Patrick's Day.
Oh
Yeah,
my
St.
god.
Patrick's
See,
always end up getting me in trouble, so I'm excited.
I always miss
Same.
St. Patrick's Day because my dad's birthday. So like anytime that
Um,
we would want to go out, like
Take him
my
with
dad
you.
would, yeah, they're like, you want to go? Oh, my mom is. If I bring my father home drunk, I've seen him drunk 2 times, my wedding and my brother's wedding, and he was both times were because of my friend Patrick, as a direct result, which I guess is a weird thing, but like that dude is it's a whole other story, but yeah,
yeah.
like it's the only time I've seen him drunk is there, and both times he was in trouble because she had to drive. she
Oh
was,
my god. Yeah.
Or Storm
she was
drinking.
what's it
Yeah, my
called?
dad stopped drinking when I was like 17 because and he would get crazy too. Like he would start fighting with his brothers and it was just crazy because he's a crybaby like my
Mhm.
dad. So his brothers were fighting and then he would get in between and then they would throw him off and he would end up hurt and then crying. It was just a whole mess. So he just stopped drinking, period. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's for the best.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I I
He's
have
not made for liquor.
No,
I ha-
not everybody is.
My
no.
mom, she's a drinker. Not my dad.
Dude, that's crazy. My
Yeah.
mom's a drinker too. Like my dad, he'll drink every now and then, but he's not really a big drinker. But my mom, boy, she'll make like different kinds of bunches and stuff and just load
Oh
them with tequila.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
she
sounds so good.
people fucked up. I
Yeah,
blame
See,
you
her.
always
I literally blame her for my alcoholism.
same. Yeah, you always see my mom walking to the weddings and quinceañeras holding 2 Buchanan bottles, finding her table, and I'm like, okay, well, that's where I got it from.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will say like when it comes to like my in-laws, like my dad doesn't really drink unless like we're in town, and like my brother's like, oh yeah, I'll get an excuse to drink. Kyle's coming to town, we're gonna go drink a bunch of beer or some liquor. And my dad's like, I'll also jump into that. That sounds awesome. My mom will drink one margarita, just takes one, and she's just like, I don't feel good. I think you should. I want to go home. Like you just look so nice. Like, and I'm just like, look, stop.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, some people just can't
We
take
need to build that
it's like,
tolerance.
oh yeah, for sure. There's some people that just take something new and that just think they're dying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My friend Chelsea, the one that she's featured
Uh-huh.
on Craving,
Uh-huh.
she's a really good friend of mine too. So sometimes we work out together and I gave her pre-workout for the first time.
She's like,
And she literally texted her mom. She felt like she was dying because she had pre-workout. And it was literally 5 minutes after she took the pre-workout. So some people are just not made to take anything.
Yeah.
well, it's so weird when you take it for the first time too, because you know,
Yeah,
like
everything
I
just
mean,
itches.
the shakes, the itches, you get like that initial, but it
Yeah,
feels so
I
good
love
when
it.
you're getting that first pump
Oh
into though.
yeah,
You're just like,
you're
wow, just
running
that
or
full
anything, it
embrace.
just feels bomb. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally
she didn't get
understand
to
that.
see. She didn't experience that, so she's like, I'm never doing that again. So like, okay.
She's just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared.
Yeah, she saw her mom. I think Grammy gave me something. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but shout out Chelsea though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's it
She's
called?
probably watching. She was watching. I think. I don't know. She probably fell asleep, but she was there.
Yeah. What's it called? I will say, when it comes back to go back to Sixth Street, Sixth Street is it's a very magical place. And if you
Yeah.
go again, I don't know if you've ever enjoyed them, but have you ever had a Long Island iced tea? I'm sure you have.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have Long Island pitchers there, sometimes for like $10 that you can get, and you can get like 2 pitchers full and just go nuts.
I've
And
had the pictures.
oh my god,
Yeah.
those are dangerous.
Yeah.
Super
Oh yeah.
dangerous.
And then because you don't feel them,
No,
until
at
because
all.
they're very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no alcoholic taste at the end at all. You're not getting any burn or anything, which is it's mostly liquor. So when you try,
You just don't feel it. Yeah.
No,
Until the
and
end,
then-
and you just fucked up already.
Yeah.
what's it called? You ever been to NOLA? Just a random question. You ever gotten
Oh, Chelsea's
experience
there.
NOLA?
Chelsea just texted me. I'm here. She was watching.
But yeah, shout out Chelsea.
She said, "Why are you exposing me?"
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us.
She just released an EP herself. Is super so good. She's actually working on Spanish stuff right now. Very talented.
Send us the links for sure, so we can also shout her out in the comments when we do everything in post.
Oh yeah, for
That
sure.
way she can have her music out there as well.
Yeah,
Since
she's
y'all
performing
done
with
like
me.
some stuff together.
Yeah,
You
for sure. Yeah, she's
performing
performing with me on Minifest. I'm bringing her up for 2 songs for Craving, and then we actually have a Spanish song coming up. It's called Como Lloras, and it's featuring her, and so we're gonna perform that one too. It's probably not gonna be released yet when we perform it, but it's gonna be really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
so question.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to upcoming artists in the Houston scene, I guess we'll kind of go back into that. You know, there's a lot of them. But do you have any specific artists that you've seen or noticed within the scene that's basically up and coming that you would love to work with?
Oh yeah, a lot. I
Like,
feel like I have a lot of people that I look up to like in the industry, but most of the people I'm a fan of are literally like underground Houston artists. Like I listen to them like nonstop.
do you have any like what's one like one favorite you're like, okay, I gotta get a single with them at some point.
Yeah, I have like so in my room I have a board where I literally have like
Uh-huh.
a list of songs that I'm working on, and I used to have a list full of them. So I scratched them off. I think CA the Don was literally top 5 that I had that I just had to get a song with him. Uncle Tino, fucking good. So I've never contacted him about a song, but eventually I do want to get there. I just want to work with something that, you know, when you write a song and you have a song that you want to like pitch to them,
Mhm.
you just want it to be perfect. So I don't have one yet that I want to introduce to him. There's a lot. I'm a huge fan. Cleva. He's from North Houston. I have
Yeah.
a couple songs with him, so I've already got to work with him. But he's really good. So that's a lot to think of. Iris, Isaac. Oh, there's a lot of good people. I feel like you probably know everybody I'm gonna mention, but yeah, I feel like I want to get to work with so many, and I feel like I collaborate too much, and sometimes people are like, you need to start doing like most things by yourself. But I just love collaborating with people because I like to bring 2 different sounds together. So most of my songs are collaborations, and it's not like I planned for that to happen; it just does.
It's a collective.
So, yeah,
rather
for
than,
sure.
like, I mean, sometimes collaborations are like good though, because like I mean, when you're looking at like certain artists and stuff too, especially like somebody like I'm just gonna bring out an example like Odd Future. You look at Tyler the Creator and his career and the start of his career, he wasn't doing just like fully solo stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of it was like collab. I mean, he does have his own solo pieces, but a lot of those were produced by somebody. They also had like, you know, small little, you know, ad libs, things like that. They put it all
Yeah.
through Odd Future. You know, if anybody from like Frank Ocean all the way to, you know, what's it called? Why am I? It doesn't matter. What's it called? I was scooping on his name now, but like, it's one of those things they fully collab and they had a very successful. He has a very successful career, you know, as a
Yeah.
direct result. And then he's doing his own solo stuff. But when he found his way, but it took a while.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
for sure. Yeah,
But-
it's really fun. There's actually this artist. His name is Corey. He goes by Corey Does It. He just had a huge show by himself in Warehouse Live. He's a good friend of ours. His album just dropped and he's so fucking good.
It's called
So
Corey Does It.
yeah, Corey does. He's so good, and he's you know, he's getting up there more. He's like very passionate about his work, and it's like his albums just hit different. It's like you would never expect like the song to sound like the next. Cause he's like he raps and he sings, and he's just very vibey. So he's probably the next one I want to really get to work with.
I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah,
Because I haven't
so
heard it.
good.
I haven't heard of him, and I
Oh,
think it'd
yeah.
be interesting to kind of get to know. I like one thing, like one person I think that you would do like a great collab with, and just this is just coming from listening to some of the music and stuff, would be like Dende. I don't know if you've
I
heard
do.
of Dende.
Yes, I do.
I think
Yeah.
you and Dende could make something super dope together, and like I know CA actually just did something with him, and it was also
He did,
super
yeah.
dope. But I
So
think
good. He's really
you and
good.
them you and him could make some magic happen. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's really good too.
what's it called? Yeah, that guy's very impressive.
Super talented. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was also going to mention. I don't know if you know this, but I'll also throw this out as something. So, Danny and I are assisting with a music festival coming out in April.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be April, I believe it's 23rd.
23rd. Yeah.
It's called DOGEPALOOZA. It's all Doge themed. If you know the meme cryptocurrency and stuff like that, it's a cryptocurrency themed like
Yeah.
thing. If you're ever interested, I don't know if you have a concert then, but you should check out their forum at dogepalooza.com and kind of just show them something to see if you get an opportunity, because there's some pretty cool like artists that are going to be showcasing there. Chloe Flowers is a
Oh,
cool like
nice.
instrumental artist who's going to be doing, yeah, she's done stuff like Cardi B on the Grammys and stuff like that. Dionne Warwick, if you know like R&B, like old school
Yeah.
R&B, she's like the headliner. DJ Nomad's gonna be there, who
Oh, nice.
he's done work with like Britney and Beyonce and Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So it would be some like, I don't know.
Oh, that sounds so dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a very interesting concert for sure. But I think it's gonna be really cool. And even if you don't go as an artist, like it would be cool to like
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
you'd
That
probably
sounds
enjoy
fun.
going. It'd be cool
Also,
to meet you in person there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool that you guys are helping with that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and also they're actually doing a competition to get give local people a chance to perform on the main stage.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I would definitely go check out their page at dogepalooza.com.
Dogepalooza.
Yeah.
It's spelled like DOLDGE.
DOGE, and then
DOGE.
PALOOZA. Yeah,
Yeah.
DOGEPALOOZA.
Okay, yeah, I'm horrible at spelling, so I was like, let me get that.
But it's
And
yeah,
apply. So
but they're
still looking
pretty cool
for
people.
local
Oh, that sounds
artists.
fun. Sounds fun just going. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be wild. They're gonna have a bunch of vendors and stuff. They're gonna have a bunch of breakers that are gonna be there as well, doing like dance routines and stuff like that. So there's gonna be all
That's
kinds
really
of just random stuff
There's
happening
also
throughout the day. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a very internet centric like concert, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just watching a lot of dance videos. Now that you mention it, I'm trying to find two dancers for the show. So it's like I've been watching a lot of people just dance.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's it called? Actually, I was like, we know some pretty good dancers.
You guys are good dancers?
We know some good dancers. The guy
Oh,
who
I thought you
just had
said
on.
we are some good dancers.
No, I'm awful at dancing. Ask me to like I did like cumbias and country music. I could do that,
That's all you
and,
need.
and then like some Tejano music. Like this, just lead out. Just
Two-step.
that's all. Yeah, just two step. It's easy. But like outside, I can't do any of the other stuff. I'm not coordinated.
Yeah, that's why I need two people to make me look good, and I'll just hide throughout one step.
I was like Jarvis probably has somebody that like probably knows some pretty. He's connected pretty well. It's a guy we had on our podcast.
Okay.
The last time we had a podcast. He's a Spidey Weber. He's a videographer and like producer. He's done like some pretty good stuff for like some local Houston people. He's done one of CA's videos as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's got some connects. He used to he'd be in a jerk crew back in the
Oh,
day.
nice.
And so he's got some people that probably would be open, I'm sure, to get out there. And
I guess it just depends what kind of dancer you're looking for.
yeah, are you looking for more breakers? Are you looking?
It's like more like pop. Like someone that can do like kind of like the Spanish in a way pop thing, not
Mhm.
something crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna once we end the live. I think I know somebody you could totally contact.
Oh, cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that after. But I think like I know somebody who like she dances just in her free time, but she's pretty great. And specifically, it's hip hop style, like pop dancing. Like,
Okay.
and I think she would be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
For sure. But man, what time is it? It's been awesome talking to you. I feel like we just kind of just flowed through everything.
Well, I want to ask a question before we keep going. Do you ever are you thinking about doing maybe a more reggaeton music in the
Yeah, so the EP is mostly reggaeton. That's crazy. Yeah. When I'm in Spanish, that's what I meant. I guess like I think it wasn't clear. It's mostly reggaeton. But yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
or
Like
bad?
that perreo is the next one. I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So right after this one, the next single after this one is it's called Humo Fumo, and we actually performed it live already. It's on my stories, but that's the next one. It's like a very intense like reggaeton perreo song, but it's so good. I'm really excited. And that's featuring another artist called Badass Jefferson, so he just gave it that extra kick.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'll be
Yeah.
floating the river just bumping that on the speaker.
I'll bump
Yeah,
it
for
in
sure.
Louisville. I'll bump it in Louisville. We'll go through the
Oh
city.
yeah.
We're gonna be bumping that nonstop, dude.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
usually when I make a song, it's just like, okay, I know I sang it, whatever, so like fangirling, but I guess like when I heard that one, I was just like, oh, I think I just did that, So that's the first time I was like, oh shit.
I think I
It was
did
like an alter
something.
ego came out, so it was really cool.
Bet.
That's
So
Because I feel
sick.
like with reggaeton, I mean, Spanish music is just more, I won't say more passionate, but it has more attitude sometimes.
Mhm.
So I feel like I had to bring out my alter ego to get some of those songs out. So it was really fun. It was like playing a different character.
that's awesome.
Sick. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
So
Once it
so what's
comes.
your writing process? Like getting into
So it
what
depends. So sometimes if I have someone make a beat for me, I will literally, because I write a lot, like the other day, not write, but I'm always coming out with melodies and verses, and it's I'm in the car, I'm in the shower, so I literally run to my phone and record it and then run back to the shower.
right.
So then when I know I have a melody, all I do is I'll send someone like a melody and they create a beat for me or just from scratch. But it's never, sometimes when I have nothing to write, I'll have to dig into my friends like bad relationships and write from them because I have nothing to write about.
Uh,
So most of my songs are about like probably like friends, not really ever about me, but somewhat I can relate to it. So
Yeah.
hey, you gotta pull inspiration from where you can.
oh yeah, because sometimes I have nothing going on and my life is boring, so I have to dig from my friends who have like so much drama in their life to write, and I was just making my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you're making your own music at the same time. Like you're writing, it's your own story. Like at the same time, it's just through, it's from the eyes of other people, but it's your, it's that story that you get to tell.
Oh
If that
yeah,
makes
and
sense.
every
Like some,
go ahead,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good. That's what I'm.
Yeah,
That's what I'm kind of like going with. I'm
yeah.
just rambling.
Most of my songs, it's like they have a message that might sound one way to another, but to other people, to me, is different. Like
Yeah.
Afraid of the Dark. Uh, I guess most people when they hear it, it's like it's about this person was so bad to me that they made me afraid, but now I found myself. But in reality,
Hmm.
me and the artist, we're talking about ourselves, like sometimes we're our monster. Like growing up, I was my own bully. Like I would be putting myself down. I'll be like, oh, you're too big, you're too this, you can't sing. Like in my own mind, that I became my own monster. So I made myself afraid of life because I was so insecure. So it was like I was my monster. But in the song, it kind of sounds like I'm talking to someone else, but in reality, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
And then Love Me For You, this song that I wrote with CA, I guess like they're gonna hear it and they're gonna probably think like a breakup song, like I'm talking to someone like, hey, I don't need you, I'll find myself another relationship. But in reality, it's mostly more about friends, like toxic friends or even family sometimes, how you don't feel loved or they just make you feel like the outsider. So you don't really need those people in your life. So it's pretty much like I'll love me for myself. Like you don't have to love me because So it's not really about a relationship. It's mostly about like toxic family, toxic friends that you don't need, and sometimes they don't give you love, so you just have to find love in yourself to love yourself. So that's pretty much what the song's about. But the
That's
verses,
powerful.
you'll get something different.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love that though. I think that's super powerful because it's something that like you don't hear that often in like
yeah.
in music either, even though it's like something that happens very prevalently.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
I don't know. It's one of those
And I feel
things
like a
that
lot of
like
artists do that. You just don't
yeah,
notice.
maybe
Yeah,
that's true. They kind of push it and it sounds like something like you said. It sounds like one thing, but it actually means a completely different thing.
yeah. And that's what I meant going back to like when I write music. It's deep shit, but in reality, it sounds like Bob. It just sounds like something you want to dance to, but in reality,
Hmm.
it's something serious that I'm going through that I just want to dance through it. I don't want to like
Hmm.
cry or be deep about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I that's awesome. Actually, I don't know. It's one of those things that like there's a big respect there when it comes to that kind of because I know that's pretty difficult to do
yeah, for
and
sure.
kind of put that out there. Some people just can't do that way. Like when I'm sad, like I like upbeat music, but sometimes I just want to be sad.
Yeah,
And like
you
and
need those
I
songs.
you 100% know those songs, but sometimes you don't need those songs. Then and like those end up being super toxic for you. And what you need is a song that still like has like a happy vibe, but can then also bring out what you're actually feeling,
Yeah, for sure.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But was that it looks like we might be going to a short break really quick.
Let's take a
Um, we'll take a real quick break. If you want, I guess when Alan, our producer, will mute real quick,
mhm.
and we'll go to intermission, and then we can kind of talk,
Yeah.
and then we'll be right back.
Sorry about that. I guess I drank a little too much before we started. I got
And he
nervous.
had to pee.
I got nervous, man.
But I guess anything. I guess before we kind of jump into it, Gammy, again, thank you for being on the show.
Thank
It
you for
was
having me.
awesome. we do definitely want to get into some Instagram questions because we actually got a ton of Instagram questions to kind of go into. And once we go through that, then we'll kind of make sure to get like all the social media, kind of talk about like when maybe a new single's wanted to release, and we'll kind of go into that as well. But
Okay.
let's go ahead and jump into one of the first questions. Danny, what you got?
All right. So at Simply Mary Lou asked, how do you stay motivated when you have writer's block?
It's hard. I think writer's block as an artist, people only if you're an artist you're gonna understand what writer's block is, and it's so frustrating because sometimes you just have nothing to write about, and you have like a timeline where you just need to get music out, but you just have nothing. So it's really hard. So I have to like find, I guess, like remember a time that I was like depressed or that I was happy and try my best to write about it. But I feel like it's not even about that you don't have nothing to say, it's just that you don't know how to say it. So I don't think there's a cure for writer's block, honestly, because people don't really ever get out of the funk until like months later. So I wish I could tell you, but I really don't. I just try my best, or that's when I go to another artist and just sit with them and write, and then something else will come out. We just like sit there and write and see songs, and that's when I dig into my friends' things, where I say that I sometimes have nothing to write about, so I'll try my best to dig into their relationships, and that's where that comes out. But I feel like it's writer's block. I don't think I've ever had a great song come from that. It's just bad. It's horrible. I hate it.
Do you feel like the best thing to do is just write through it? And
Yeah, you just have to write through it, and eventually, even if you don't use them at that point, they're gonna be like months later where you're like, you know what, I actually wrote something that might work for this verse or this melody, and you just dig into your archives, and there's a song that you wrote when you were going through writer's block that fits this. So it's still good to write through it, but you most likely won't use it, until you're out of there.
Now,
And
when
it's
you
like,
write a song, oh,
mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, go
I'll
ahead, go ahead.
correct you. I was gonna say when you write a song too, do you kind of feel like do you hear a melody in your head whenever you're writing?
Oh
Like
yeah.
so and when it comes to that, like let's say the writing is not something that you're really like let's say you do get a little bit of block and you're kind of like stuck on that. Is there any time you ever come back to it and you're like, you know what, that melody was good though, and I think I can
Yes,
work on that melody and then jump
always.
from there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like I've never written without a melody. The melody always comes first for me, which
Mm-hmm.
is crazy because a lot of artists, that's the hardest part to write, is the melody, like the chorus and that catchy part. But they're so good with verses. Like they can write a verse but then they won't have a melody for it. But for me, it's the complete opposite. Like I can write a catchy melody, and I feel like that's probably like my gift,
Mm-hmm.
where I can write something that sounds so catchy, like a second or a minute, or I just hear a beat that someone sends me and I automatically have the chorus. But I cannot write a verse to save my life. I have to literally sit down and actually focus because the verses are the hardest parts for me. But a melody, I always have the melody first and then I come up with a song.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what's it called? A very similar style to. I used to write a lot of music and stuff as well, and
Okay.
that's basically the kind of the same mindset I had. I was like, I like that I could hear it in my head, but the writing part was the hardest part for me. I could
Yeah.
hear like
Same.
the actual melody in my head, and then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but I was like, my writing was trash, and that's why I stopped doing
Same. Yeah. I got better after
it.
years, but it was horrible at first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So I got another question. So let's do it for Oakman Dojan. Do you ever think you'll do a song with your dad at some point? Like, is there ever the
Um,
opportunity of that may happen at maybe like years down the road or something like that? If or is it kind of something that you don't think would happen?
that would be awesome. I feel like once I get, we've sang, have we? I don't even think we sang together on stage because we have like birthday parties where everybody just gets on stage and sings.
Mm-hmm.
And he sang with everybody that I know, but I don't think he's ever sang with me, I guess. Or he's helped me, I guess with like how in Mexico they have like the first, segunda, and primera voz, where he's higher and then I'm the deep voice. He did that for me, I guess like the background of it, but it would be nice to actually have like a duet with my dad maybe later on in the year, let's say if I make it one day, but right now I don't see it happening right now just because,
Mm-hmm.
we're in different paths. Like his group is doing one thing and I'm doing complete other music, but I can see doing with my brother and my sister and they're like the same route as him. But
Mm-hmm.
that's only because I guess they're more like this era, so they would understand more of my writing. But I feel like even though I really like an artist and they're so good, if we don't connect with the song, I just don't think we should do it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only reason why I feel like I wouldn't do a song with him right now. But maybe in the future as like a family collaborative thing and maybe have him, me, my sister, my brother, that would be really dope. But I don't
Oh
know. I
yeah.
don't think so. Yeah.
I like it. I like that it's still on the table though, regardless. I
Yeah,
think
for
that's
sure.
pretty cool. So Carrie Gonzz, she has a question for you. Are you still acting?
Yes. So I just started getting back into it.
Mhm.
So I had the old agent that I used to have back in the day, and she's getting me these like auditions here and there. So I actually just had Zoom audition like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So that went pretty well for something that we might be shooting in August in
Nice.
Fourth Ward. So I'm starting to get in there, but I'm like looking more like small short films for now because the music's really taking over everything. So I don't have that much
Nice.
time. But eventually I will, yeah, for sure. That's a
So
big.
I guess we didn't really jump into that too. What was one thing you were doing when it came to acting like before? Was there anything like did you do a lot of like short films like within the Houston area, or did you do anything like
It
else
was more
outside
like
of that?
showcases. It was more
Okay.
showcases, and we did get to do when I was a little bigger. I did a lot of like things that I'll never tell people because they're on YouTube, like little short things we did while we were over there that
Uh-huh.
you can find on YouTube. But I just refuse to give anybody the link because I just hate the way I look completely different. I just don't. I hate seeing it myself. That's one insecurity of me. But it was just like small, like short films, unpaid of course, because it was part of the. It was just a privilege for you to be on the short film back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, so right now it's that's what I'm trying to go back to, but like actual like short films, like for series and things like that, auditions. But it was mostly like showcases, like live showcases where you would perform in front of a lot of people, and it was like monologues or skits that you would do.
Okay.
That's mostly what I would do, yeah. And I love it. I think I don't like to like I never say like I'm good at something, but I think I'm a really good actor just because I grew up watching novelas so much that I was so dramatic. To this day, I'm so extra sometimes. So I think I would be really good at that. I love acting. And I think that's why I'm good at music. I think well not good at music, but writing music. It's just because I always have a novela playing in my head.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like novellas too, like there's actually like just so much coming out in that, like not only in that scene, but the Spanish scene, especially here in the U.S., is
It's getting
growing
bigger.
like
Yeah.
immensely. It's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, you have like, and not even just like, like Narcos is a big one. Everyone knows about Narcos, right? But there's just like lots of other ones. You have like, and they're not even like
La
narco TV shows.
Rosa
You
de
have,
Guadalupe.
Series. Yeah.
yeah, La Rosa de Guadalupe is like a classic.
It's the most dramatic thing.
It's dramatic, but it's
Yeah. And it's
classic.
so easy to get casted on that. It's crazy.
Is it?
But you would have to go to Mexico and go to Televisa and do that. But it's pretty easy to get an audition there because they don't have the best actors. But I mean, I still watch it. And once you start it, you can
Okay.
stop.
It's so dramatic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Once you
It's
watch
the
one,
fun
you're
part
just
about
like,
it.
I
okay,
don't
that's
want to watch it because it's so bad. But once you start, you just can't get off.
yeah.
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 I mean, I don't know. La Rosa de Guadalupe is something like it's been around for so damn long
Oh
too.
yeah. It's
It's
a
just
guilty pleasure.
it's the fun part of it, right? Though that's the fun part of it is it's kind of silly in its own right
It
because
is.
it's
But
just a
it's
little
true. You know, true
overacted.
stories. Yeah.
And they're fun stories, and they always ends up, just like I don't know if it's always a happy ending, but like I mean, it ends up pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
No, most of
Not
the time it
always.
is. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a pretty good one. But like there's just so much out there though, even for like voice acting and stuff too.
Oh
Like I
yeah. I
mean,
don't
you're
think
seeing.
I could ever do that. Not yet. I feel like
Mhm.
it just looks so difficult. Like I don't because I
Oh,
can do voices because I love at work. My friend Jenny, she's always like, oh, do like because I imitate people. I love
uh-huh.
to imitate people. So she's sitting next to me at work and she's like, can you do me today? Can you do Mary? Can you do this? So I love to imitate people. So I feel like I would be good at it just because of that. But
Mhm.
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
Yeah, just
okay.
sit hours in the booth and just like you have to learn the way they move their mouth and everything is just I don't know.
Well,
I feel like for a singer, it's a little bit easier to pick up on, though, isn't it?
For what?
Like for a singer, it's a little bit easier to pick up on doing impressions and.
Oh yeah, I think so maybe. Yeah, I guess because I don't know if you ever seen Nicki Minaj do impertations.
Oh, really?
She's the one that got. She's so good at like mocking other people, and so is Ariana Grande. She's so good at just like doing
Yeah.
other voices that I
Yeah.
feel like that's when I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do that. So I started doing like random people. So I can do some people, but not a lot of people. You
she's
know, I'm
a
still working on it.
Ariana Grande is very impressive when it comes to her
Yeah,
like actual like voice
yeah.
acting.
I met
I'm
her.
surprised.
I have a funny story about her. I met her when I was actually in the. It was around that time for International Performing Arts, so she wasn't even. She was probably starting Victorious around that time, like
Okay,
the
so she
show that she
wasn't
was
even
in.
like big yet.
Yeah, she was big in acting. I guess not big, but like I don't know for us our age, like Nickelodeon.
Uh huh.
And I met her because we had the same vocal coach when she would come to Houston,
Yeah.
and the first thing I don't know, I was addicted to like social media back in the day. And
Mhm.
instead of being like, oh, can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph? I was like, can you follow me on Twitter? And she followed me on Twitter. And it was like all she said was like, are you gonna follow me back? So that was like the thing I have of her. And she was so small,
I bet she's tiny. She
so
looks
Yeah.
tiny. And I'm short, so for her, well, I'm not short, but I'm short for other men. So it was crazy. She was so cute.
Isn't that interesting though? How quickly she blew up after Victorious.
Oh my god,
Like,
she deserved it. She was so
oh, she
talented.
was the best. She was one of the
she
best
was
songwriters
Yeah,
famous
ever.
she was the
already.
only reason I watched the show because the show wasn't even that good.
Yeah, yeah. But
I,
she was famous before that, wasn't she? Because she did Broadway.
She did Broadway. She was Annie, and then
Uh-huh.
she did a little bit of like other things, but she was there. She did 13. I think that's the one that picked her up in Broadway. And then
mhm.
after that, look at me, all your annoying fan. But
I
she
love
did
Ariana
Victorious,
Grande.
and that's when she blew up.
Yeah, I love Ariana Grande.
I love her too.
I
Yeah.
have no shame in saying she's like one of my biggest celebrity crushes.
Oh yeah.
Kind of jealous you got to meet her.
That's super
Yeah.
awesome. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just think that's so neat. The only person I got to meet in person was Hillary Duff back in the day. I was really young, and
You have no idea how much I love Hillary Duff. She's from Houston, so she's the
Yeah.
one. She's the one of the
How I
OGs.
met How I Met Your Father is out, and if you
Bro,
haven't seen it,
literally,
it's
no, I
so
am. I'm
good.
literally there every episode. Right now,
Oh,
I'm
same.
not caught up. I have episode 3.
Oh, I think 'cause it's every Wednesday, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I am caught up, but me and my wife watch it because I was a huge How I
so
Met Your
good.
Mother fan. I love How I
Me
Met Your
too.
Mother so much,
Yeah.
but I think they've just done a great job. And plus, having Hillary Duff there, you get to
Oh,
see like Josh Peck. Like
I
and you
hate
gotta
Josh.
like it.
I'm gonna say
You
I'm
hate
Josh Peck. I just can't watch Josh Peck seriously.
Well, I can only I've always loved Josh Peck. I was a huge Drake and Josh fan when
I
it
was a
comes
Drake
to.
fan.
Are you a Drake fan?
A little fall off right now,
So
but you know,
sorry.
I know,
Well, he's
Drake
missed.
Campana's not doing great at the moment.
I know. Like, let's plead the fifth, but yeah,
What's it called? But I mean, like, to be fair, you're right, John. It's hard to take him seriously when he did a comedic role for as long as he
he's
did.
really talented. He's talented. I just can't take him serious because I can't get Josh out of my head. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I watched.
Megan,
I watched some other movie that he did. What was it? Red Dawn or something like
dude, Red Dot,
that? It was a super serious role, but I just could not get through it because I want to laugh every time
such a
I
good movie though.
which one
Read Dawn. It's
with
one of
who?
with Josh Peck.
Oh no,
It
probably
was
didn't see it.
Josh Peck, Chris Hemsworth, and I
It
think
was like
those
North
those
Korea invading the U.S.
yeah.
They were trying to
Mhm.
survive.
In the
It's
original,
It's a
it's
good
based
movie.
it's based on an older movie back from the 80s where during the Cold War Russia actually invades the US, and basically these kids go into like hiding, and when they go into hiding they create this militia group called the Wolverines, and they fight against like the Russians that come over there. It's
I think
very
I've seen that. I think I've
it's
seen it.
very cheesy, very campy, but very very entertaining.
I still
Like,
couldn't get past the fact that he was a serious role in that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know I don't know if you guys know Harry Styles, but Harry well, obviously you know Harry Styles, but he did an army movie. He was like in war, and
Yeah, he did. He
he
was
had
in.
like he was like the bully. He was like the mean guy, so I couldn't take him seriously. But he still did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Dunkirk, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that one.
that
He's
Yeah,
is?
in Dunkirk. Yeah, he's in
yeah,
Dunkirk.
he's like the mean guy under like he was being rude to the guy, telling him to go die first or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when they're in
Yeah,
that little like they're under a boat, right? I think it's what
yeah,
it is. Yeah, I know
the
exactly what
shit.
you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's a pretty good movie, by the way. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I remember How I Met Your Mother. I would only watch it because I loved Allison Hannigan, and then Britney Spears had like a huge role on How I Met Your Mother. Like she would always come back, so that's the
Yeah,
only reason I would watch it.
dude. Not to mention, like I don't now it's super relevant, but Cobra Kai when it came out, like so you'd get to see because like Neil Patrick Harris, he always had this belief like Barney that the Karate Kid, like that whole thing that he was actually the bad guy of the film,
Yeah,
and Johnny was the good guy. And now I think they talked about how it potentially sparked Cobra Kai and coming back because he had so many roles in that. That's
yeah,
why I also was like I had a bigger appreciation for that because I was like that's so cool because the thought process is Johnny actually is the good guy at the end in the story and
yeah.
not that what's it called I don't know if you've seen the Karate Kid. It's awesome, great film. And Cobra Kai's amazing too if you haven't watched Cobra Kai. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
I'm not big on like the like karate or I don't know if that's not karate, but like fighting movies.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm really boring when it comes to movies. So like action and stuff like that. Probably I'm more into like horror and like funny movies.
Okay.
I was like, I
Yeah.
do have a recommendation if you're into horror. You should watch the TV show. If you haven't seen Scream TV show, since I know you like Scream,
I did because of Kiki Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the ones before that? Because Kiki Palmer's awesome. That's actually a good series, a good season.
Yeah.
But have you seen
Oh,
the
yeah.
two seasons before that season?
Yeah, because the
Its
first
own
one was
kind
where
of vibe.
Bella Thorne was the first one to die,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, saying, oh yeah, I'm a huge Scream fan. I was not gonna miss the series.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Slasher's also amazing.
You know what? One slasher movie I can't get over is the fucking clown movie. Oh my god.
It?
No,
Or are
no,
you
no,
talking
no.
about Terrifier?
Bro, I can't finish that movie.
Terrifier's really gory.
There's one. Have you seen them?
Is it you talking about that scene?
I
You know what I'm
cannot
talking
get
about?
past that scene.
Yeah.
That's when I turned it
Yeah.
off. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't do this. How did you know what I was talking about?
It's the worst scene in the film. It's
Literally after that, shut it down. I never went back. And I know the second one and third one came out. Nope,
Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
and the thing is, it's because it's one of those movies where you have a really good like character, like, and he's honestly, Art the Clown like has put himself in horror in a way that other people haven't in a long time. But the movie itself is awful.
He needs to
It's
keep
so
it. He
bad.
needs to keep that because I just can't know. That's worse than Saw.
It was pretty rough. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Danny, but it's
I
you should
saw
watch it. It's worth checking out. It's a
Don't
good
watch it,
movie.
Danny. Don't watch
It's
it.
not good. It's not good, but it's good.
15 minutes of it, and I
It's
was like,
good, but it's not good.
Yeah.
no, it's super gory, but it just didn't catch my attention.
Oh yeah. Oh, no.
It's one of those movies that you can't like.
Finish.
It's like the acting is awful.
Yeah,
The
at
acting's
the
awful
same-
too, apart from the goriness.
Yeah, and it's super gory, but it's
They
one of
didn't choose
those
the
films that you
struggle.
gotta
They went
watch
with both.
once. Yeah.
yeah.
What's it called? I'm trying to think of another really like the TV show Slasher is great though. Before we go into it, highly recommended it. First 2 seasons because it's an anthology series, so the seasons are
Okay.
separate from the actual rest of the story. Don't watch the 3rd season. You don't need to. It's not important. It does not exist in my eyes. But the 2nd season is the best one. It takes place in a commune, basically in the woods of Colorado, at the top of like a mountaintop, and basically some shit goes awry and people start dying, and it's awesome. It takes place in the wintertime.
Have you seen the new zombie movie? We're All Dead. Is it We're All Dead?
No, me and my wife are gonna watch that soon. We're getting ready to start it.
It's good.
Good. I got into it like way deeper, but it's once you start, it's like, oh shit, is that actually because I don't like zombie movies. I'm
Yeah.
not really into them, but that shit was thick.
There's an
Yeah.
anime called High School of the Dead. It's because this is based on a Korean show, but there's an anime called High School of the Dead. It's pretty similar. It's basically a bunch
Yeah.
of people go to high school and then they have to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy how Korean
It's
movies
wild
and
time.
shows are all so big right now.
Yeah, they're doing
Squid Games is awesome. Train to Busan is one of the greatest of all time. I know you don't like zombie movies, you said, but if you haven't seen Train to Busan,
Oh
watch
yeah,
it.
I did that because that's
So
with
good.
the family. Yeah, I did. That shit was depressing as hell.
Oh, it's so good. It's
Yeah, so good. But I
It's
wouldn't watch it
intense.
again. It's like the boys in striped pajamas. You know how you can only watch them once, but you can't watch it again.
Yeah, it's like The Pianist. I don't know if you've seen that show too. It's another good one. It's
No,
like
but I've
so
heard of it.
beautiful, but it's beautiful. I recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. And then after that, I would watch it again. It's gonna depress you. Okay, so I think we have a couple more questions. I know we have a lot more, but I know we probably have a time for a couple more questions. So let's see what we got here.
I got one.
All right.
Juan Paco Pico de Gallo on Instagram. He asked, "Who is one artist you wish to work with? Like it could be anybody."
Oh my god.
Living or dead?
Damn. I'm not prepared for this shit. I feel like I've always knew I was gonna get asked this question, and I'm never ready because it always changes. But
Well, currently,
damn. I'm a huge Justin Bieber fan, like you, Justin Bieber, his new music.
I agree.
So I'd probably say Justin Bieber.
okay.
Just
I like that.
yeah,
I'm fan of his new stuff. I like that
that
song.
Purpose album. This album was so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dope. His new
There's
music is really good.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of Justin Bieber's got some serious talent. He always has had talent.
Yeah,
But
he
I
was
think
just a
he's-
freak. But now
yeah.
I always been a fan. Whether even though he was when he was in his worst, I was always
Mhm.
defending him. I was like, leave him alone. He's going through it. But no, he's so
Leave
talented.
Britney
But
alone.
yeah, that's what I was. Leave Justin
Justin.
alone. Yeah. But yeah, I want to say so many others, but
That's a good choice, though. Like
I mean, that's a great collab though.
Yeah, because I mean, I can say like all my songwriters like Bazzi, but all of these people like, oh my god, Pink. Oh, I'm a huge Pink fan.
Really?
That would be fucking dope. Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, I was a big fan of Pink, like when she was doing like "Let's Get This Party Started," like "I'm coming."
That's when I think
home."
of Pink. That's what I think of. That,
Yeah,
yeah,
immediately. That's like my go-to. I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. Let's party.
yeah.
It's gonna be badass.
That's a
Oh,
really good question. It's a lot. I don't think because I'm like full of. I'm all about collaboration, so I feel like I'm always like, damn, if Nicki Minaj, that's it. That's my answer.
Ricky?
I
Like
think it's
once I
fair.
have that, I once I have a Nicki Minaj verse in one of my songs, that's how I know I made it. Whether it's a flop or not,
That would
that's
be,
all. I'll be happy.
Nicki
yeah,
would be dope. Okay,
that'd be wild. Yeah.
from Carrie Gonzz, Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera.
Britney Spears.
Okay.
I love them both, but yeah, it's just
That was quick.
yeah, Britney Spears. My sister's a huge Christina Aguilera, Aguilera fan, and Britney, so I was always like, no, you can't because I mean, what? Of course, you can't compare Christina Aguilera's voice to anybody. I feel like she has one of the best voices, but I'm all about people's actions and the way people treat other people. And I feel like Britney Spears was always like just humble to everybody, and she's known as one of like the nicest people, and I feel like she always treated people with respect. And I feel like maybe that's why she was always more successful than Christina when it came to music. And all like just the hits, you can't compare Britney Spears hits to Christina's hits. There's too
Yeah.
many.
It's
Yeah,
also exactly why Mariah's not in the conversation at all.
that's why
Like
because
she's
I'm okay with some divas, but I feel like
yeah.
that's I feel like she'd be more of like on the Beyonce status for being iconic if she was nicer to people.
Yeah, because
You know?
Beyonce is apparently very nice. Like, because
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
why.
you hear
Yeah,
at least. You hear that she's
yeah.
a very nice, humble person, and
Yeah,
you don't
that's why
hear that about
she's still
Mariah.
relevant. She's never ticked people off or anything.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's why she's not in the conversation for sure.
yeah. I figured that's what it was. I was like, because Mariah Carey is also an amazing artist, but just I
But
just heard she's
she
just
don't treat people
a
nice.
mean person. Yeah, and
Hmm.
that's a very important thing. Like when they're just nasty people, like
Oh
it really
yeah,
takes away from the music at that point because it's not important. Like it's one of those things. And I don't know, like once you start to like that, it's at How I Met Your Mother, the fucking hypothetical glass. You know, what I'm talking about the glass break.
mhm.
That's exactly what happens whenever you hear that. You're just like, phew, okay,
Yeah,
you're a
for
terrible
sure.
person now.
Oh
Your
yeah,
music does not hit the same at all anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure at all. Because I was a big Mariah Carey fan because of my sister. Like I grew up with Hero and all these songs. But then when I realized I was like, oh, that's what she treats people. I was like, okay. So I stopped listening to her for a little bit, and as well like. The whole Chris Brown scandals and everything, and just kind of like when people aren't so nice, you kind of stop listening because I don't want to be associated with like rude people. I don't like rude people here. Money doesn't change you, so
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Also, shout out to our Tejano queen, Selena Quintanilla,
oh
because apparently she was just an amazing person, and we never got to hear that full English EP,
oh my
and
god.
that
Yeah.
would have been
Have you listened to
amazing.
her English album though?
I've listened to some of her English album,
Oh,
mostly the Spanish stuff.
because
Like,
she has they released a full album.
did they release the full?
So fucking good. Yeah, it's like 20 songs, and it's
What?
it was
Really?
her
I
last.
know
It was
she
called
had like a
Dreaming.
lot of stuff, like Dreaming
Yeah,
of
it's called
You.
Dreaming of You, and the album itself.
I was like, I know Dreaming of You. That's an amazing
You
song.
need to listen to Missing My Baby. That's my favorite Selena song. It's from that English album.
It's so
So
damn
good.
heartbreaking.
Go listen to
It
that.
all it. I'm gonna have to get back to that because I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh yeah, they released it.
As somebody who really enjoys like Selena, and I love her Spanish music.
I
Like
love her.
I
Yeah.
grew up on like Tejano music, so it's like she was a big name in the household. Like when I was
Oh yeah,
growing up.
it still is. It's crazy because all the kids, like my kids' kids, they're all gonna know who Selena
Yeah.
is because she just gets bigger and bigger.
Well,
So
and then
I love that.
AB had his whole thing too with Cumbia Kings, and like he kind of did his own thing, but at the same time, it was still very relevant in
Yeah.
like that style as
My
like music changed.
I've met the family in one
Mhm.
way or another. Because I guess because my dad, of course, and he would tell me these things about other people. It's like he said, she said, type of thing in this
Mhm.
community. So and then you hear as well. This is like all rumors, of course, but they didn't have like the Beyonce's family didn't have the best relationship with Selena's family
Mhm.
because they were Selena as she was a beautiful person, but her family was not like her. It's not like her.
No.
Very grimy people. Like it was just completely different atmosphere if you meet them versus if you meet her, just completely different.
From what I've heard, and this is just hearsay, right? But I've actually heard that the TV show that came out recently was a little more accurate in terms of
Yeah,
like
in the movie.
how the father was and
Yeah.
how like her sisters and her brother, because her sister was nice but a little bit jealous, right? And then her
Mhm.
brother always kind of like AV is just AV, right? He was just very opinionated and kind of kind of was a jerk because he wanted to get to certain places. But I like, even though people dislike that for whatever reason, I don't understand. I think the series was great, and I think the acting was really good. I think they did a really good job. But overall, I think they
It's
had
better
some
than
of
what
those
people really threw it on the dirt, but I thought it was pretty good. I like
Yeah,
that.
it was one of the most accurate depictions of like of her father, like that I've seen, at
Yeah.
least through
Yeah.
like the stories that I've heard.
Yeah, for sure. And the mom too. You got to see more of her, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's been, side note, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh,
I
for
know we're
sure.
kind of getting late. I think my wife is probably like wondering where I am.
All right, let's get into the last game. It's called This
Yeah.
or That. It's
Yeah.
super quick, rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Let's do that. All right.
We love this stuff.
All right.
Okay, I'm excited.
So the first one is hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot. Okay. The next one is chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay. Pop or R&B?
Pop. Shit.
Pop.
Yeah.
Ooh, TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram. What's your go-to? All right.
Let's do beef or chicken.
I'm vegan. I'm pescatarian,
Oh.
but chicken.
If you told us this,
You
I
told
was,
us that
okay.
you
I was like, okay, shellfish or regular fish? Like, do you like a seafood boil or do you like a fried fish?
Like grilled, I guess boiled. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I fixed it. I was like, you told us that at the beginning.
That was the first thing he told us. He's
L,
like,
L's, F's in the chat, y'all. F's in the chat. Just put it.
oh, Kyle.
Just
Come
F's in the chat. L. What do you call it? Okay. Winter or fall?
Fall.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Let me think.
I got one. Morning or night?
Nights. I hate the mornings. Oh God, no. I'm a completely different person. That's Roberto.
Okay.
Damn, I hate morning.
Let's do.
Pepsi or Coke?
Oh, Coke for sure.
Yeah.
Pepsi. I'm gonna go with Pepsi.
Well, it
You
depends.
would do good in Kentucky.
It-
KFC. Yum.
No, I was gonna say it depends. In the U.S., Pepsi. In Mexico, Coke.
Coke. Yeah.
Can't go any other
Oh,
way.
you can't sweet how sweet like that cane sugar Coke is. That's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Let me think.
What you got? What you got?
Gummy bears or sour gummy worms?
Oh shit. I love sour candy, so sour bears. I'm gonna go with sour
Okay.
bears. Yeah.
Oh,
Anything
sour.
sour.
Okay, you can combine them. I like it. I love
Yeah.
sour bear. I love any
Same.
kind of sour gummies or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Those have you ever remember the green Skittles? I don't even think they sell them that much anymore.
Yeah.
Those are
do
my
you remember-
favorite.
Do you remember sour Starburst?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Those were killer. They got discontinued so fast, but like
Yeah.
the raspberry one was so delicious.
There's like the green Doritos, the jalapeno Doritos on them. You ever remember those in the green bag?
Yeah.
Good.
Bro, they stopped sending those. Those are my favorite.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they stopped selling a lot of things recently. I was a big fan of Hot Funyuns. You can't find them anywhere anymore.
Oh, I always eat hot funnies. I always have them where I work.
I'm very happy because I like we have like I have one of my favorite chips of all time is sabritones, and like we have them like readily available here in Kentucky. So I get that every time I go to the gas station, we got sabritones like just ready to go.
That's one thing that's for sure consistent. Anywhere you go, you can find them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. A little bit of because I like that lime, I like that sour, but I like chile a lot too. Like one of my favorite like candies when I was growing up was the watermelon lollipops with the chile on them.
Yes, to this day. Yeah,
So
and
hard to beat. We have
the corn ones, they were like corn,
Yes.
and the other one was watermelon.
Hell yeah, we have a couple of them like from Mexico that we have. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to munch on those like,
Dude, I
like
had
tomorrow
the
morning.
first time that was gummy. Have you ever had those?
No.
They're like the same ones, but they're gummy.
I don't like those.
No?
They don't hit the same for me.
I mean, they don't hit the same, but they were pretty good. I tried a mango one.
I eat the chile, but then I throw away the gum.
Gotcha.
So question, vegetarian, but do you drink milk and or do cheese, butter, and all kind of stuff?
So I'm actually pescatarian. So
Pescatarian.
pretty much, yeah, I'm not. I don't. I'm
Solely,
vegetarian.
so solely fish.
Yes. So I eat anything like dairy, anything. It's just like if you were a vegetarian, you just add
Okay.
fish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
dairy and stuff too is okay. Well, so because I
Yeah.
was gonna ask, do you like like if you're gonna choose ice creams, like childhood ice creams, do you do the SpongeBob one, or are you gonna go Ninja Turtle?
Neither. My favorite one was the the rabbit. What's his name? Looney
Bugs Bunny.
Tunes. Bugs Bunny. Oh
Bugs
my
Bunny.
god,
Okay,
that's
yeah, that
fucking
one was fire.
sucks.
Wrestling ones, the WWE ones.
Man, get that trash
Oh
out of
yeah,
here.
the chocolate ones. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
shots. Remember the shots? Bro, those are my favorite. They don't sell them anymore. It pisses me off. They have like the ones in the mall, but they don't taste the same.
They're not the same. Yeah. Damn. By the way, Kyle, you done fucked up 3 times already. He
What
told
does that mean? Does that mean
pescatarian
I'm out?
like 3 different
I
times.
know.
And
Well,
you
I
still
don't. Well, because I was
It's
wondering because I
okay.
was vegetarian. Because I'm like no pescatarian. I know he eats fish. I'm like,
Like
he eats
something with
fish.
omega. I just say like I just don't eat meat or chicken. That's what I would say. I never say
I was
what
like
I am. I just
omega
say
threes, omega threes.
How do you feel being pescatarian? Like, do you feel healthier? Because I've tried it one time and that was like the healthiest I ever got was just eating fish all the time.
Yeah, and I just don't miss meat or chicken, so that's good, because I wasn't really much on steak. I was more like a chicken person, like chicken nuggets, this and that. But
Hmm.
I don't miss it. I have fish tacos for instead of fajita, so it's like it's fine. I miss those street tacos, but it's fine. I'll live with it.
I was like,
Eventually, maybe I'll go back once. But I went to Paris and I had the vegan steak. That shit was bomb.
what does
Vegan.
it taste like?
Chicken nuggets. That's what I told people. Like, what does it taste like? I'm like, it kind of tasted like chicken nuggets, but I don't know. It's plant based, so
Chicken nuggets is one of the few things that you can get 100% right. Like
yeah.
with
If you
being
fucking
like
love me, just doing
vegetarian,
something
like,
wrong.
it tastes exactly the same. Like there's no difference.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I do have a recommendation. You probably you may I don't know if you've been here or not, but it's near Willowbrook. There's a spot that we like to go to, and if you like to, I don't know if you like to go out and like dance with anything like that, but there's a place called Vita Mariscos, and they moved one over near Richmond, but the other one's near Willowbrook Mall.
Mhm.
Great spot. The seafood
Okay.
also is bomb. They have this mango fish that is just
What's it
like
called?
killer. It's called Vita Mariscos.
Vida maízos?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's killer though. It's super delicious. I highly recommend it. Like really
Yeah, I'm
good
gonna look
seafood
into it.
spot. But they do like live music and stuff too. So they'll have like a banda playing and stuff like that, and it's fire. It's a fun
Cool.
time to go bring friends and stuff like that, and the beer's flowing. It's a good time.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. That sounds fun.
That's
yeah.
a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you too, Danny, because I'm sure you probably haven't heard that either.
Yeah.
I'll go with Danny
Yeah, there we go. We'll go hang out together.
Hell yeah.
for sure.
We'll FaceTime you when we're shit faced drunk. Try to find
That'll be fun.
We just
I'll
got kicked out.
We just got kicked out. We're not allowed back. Hey, but that
Danny
food
got
was
the
bomb.
bill. If it's 1,200, I'm running.
Dude, I wanted to cry so bad when I got that bill.
I would cry. Shit, no.
I was like, fuck.
That's when I'm using my dad's contacts. I'm like, Dad, I need you
Hey.
now.
Do you remember when I said I didn't need you? I might need you right now.
Yeah, I know. I said I got it all by myself. Like right now, it's a time.
It's time, yeah.
I lied at this point.
I lied.
Rip.
Yeah, never doing that again. I promise you that.
Same, yeah.
I
We're
learned my
done.
lesson.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Gammy. We're really
Oh,
looking
same.
forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing. We're really looking forward to hearing your EP drop. When it does drop, please let us know, like maybe a couple days before, so we can start to shout it out and stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
But before we close out the show, where can people find you? What's the best place to look for you on social media?
So all my usernames are the same. So Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple, everything's Gammy Gonzz. So GAMMYGONZZ. Just
Okay.
Gammy Gonzz anywhere. So it's pretty easy.
Perfect. Well, I need to follow you on Twitter too, because I think I'm pretty sure you're on Twitter. I was trying to like see you. But
I'll find y'all. Yeah.
yeah, I'll come find you. I have like a minute NFT profile picture, so don't be alarmed. Like I'm really
Twitter's very
heavily into
slow.
crypto
Twitter's
stuff.
very slow now, but I mean I use it here and there.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
always on Twitter. I am a
I
fiend.
like Instagram the best, man. Out of all of them.
Me too.
I used to love Instagram. I was like, if you look at my actual, I have like thousands of pictures on my Instagram. I haven't used it in a while, like for random pictures. I think it's because I got fat, to be honest. But I think it's a lot of pictures of my dog and my art, stuff like that.
Nice. Okay.
But what do you call
I'll
it? But
find you
yes,
after this.
again, thank you for coming.
Thank
It was
you.
honestly awesome talking to you.
Thank
and
you
I
so
hope,
much.
I hope to continue to see success in your music.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you for sure.
Same.
Yeah, we'll hang out when we're in town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. April, I'll be there at the show.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Come find us.
For sure.
But
Oh yeah, we'll keep in touch. We'll be looking out for all your new projects. Whenever
you.
you got something releasing, let us know. We'll push it. You ever want to
Yes.
come on the show and just bullshit?
Oh
with
yes, I'm inviting me. I'm here anytime. That was really fun.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. Because we can also just come on and shoot the shit, talk about random shit. If there's something going on that you really want to talk about, like you're like, I'm pissed off at this specific scenario, I want to talk about it. Like, hit us up anytime.
Oh,
Like,
easy. Yes, I'm mad every day, so let's go.
Yeah, our doors are open to you. We appreciate you for coming on. We appreciate everyone that watched on our first Twitch stream. Also, Gammy, thank you for being our first live Twitch stream. Like, this was our first live show. I think it went perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Is it, by any chance, this question, is going to be downloaded anywhere so that anybody can see it?
Yeah,
Yes.
so it'll probably be next week. We'll release it on YouTube and we'll cut clips and put them on social medias. We'll send you a link or something. That
Okay, awesome, cool. Yeah.
We're also gonna do we'll probably do audio as well, audio only.
Audio drops this Thursday, so we'll have audio podcast this Thursday on Spotify.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, is it pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts? So it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play.
Okay, yeah, because I listen to you guys on Spotify, so I should find it there.
So anywhere like that, that's where we're pretty much readily available.
Radio everywhere.
We are on iHeartRadio, which is pretty cool. Awesome. We didn't know that until we saw the DOGEPALOOZA interview we did. We're like, oh shit, we're on iHeartRadio.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for everyone listening. Thank you, Chris and Alan, for producing this for us and being our producers. We very much appreciate it. We appreciate everyone that got on the live stream. And thank you guys. Audio will drop Thursday, and next Thursday we'll have video, and we'll have clips on all sorts of stuff on all our social medias. Again, thank you, Gammy, for coming on and following us. And please go follow Gammy. Follow us. I'm at Danny @Danny_G951. Kyle is go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me at It's That Guy Kyle pretty much anywhere. I'm usually It's That Guy Kyle.
Yeah, and you can find all our social media stuff at the Weekly D Pod. Thank you guys for listening. This was fun. Peace.
Oh damn, there we go again, fighting